Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or are watching the channel for the very first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to seek logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called uncommon sense. And I see that we have MK. Yes, let's get those like up, please. Thank you very much, MK, my cyber son in law. So, right now, we're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Now, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have been supporting my channel. Um, my numbers are slowly growing. Now I have 104 subs, and I just want to say thank you very much to all my subscribers. I want to say thank you very much to all the people who've shown a lot of love and continue to watch my content on a weekly basis. So I'm going to ask everyone, if you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do prepare content, you will have the opportunity to either catch it live or to catch it on the playback. Now, before we get into the main topic, I got some news to share with everybody. Now, tomorrow night, yours truly, Jose Negron, will be interviewed on a podcast. And the name of the podcast is What's Your Come Up Story? It also happens I'm going to be interviewed by Kate Fit and her father, Sir Charles. Now, what I will do is, being that you need a link to see the podcast, what I will do is that I would link the interview to my channel. So therefore, everyone will have an opportunity to see yours truly being interviewed. Already, we got 3 people viewing the stream, and I just want to say thank you very much. As I stated before, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. It's not going to cost you anything. But now, the reason why we get it, now, first of all, let me just share with you what is the topic, which is why being obsessed about being white. First of all, let me just make this disclaimer. This is not an anti-white stream. This is not going to be an anti-white show. What it is that unfortunately, you have some people who are so obsessed about becoming Caucasian that you do lots of things to try to make yourself pass for being white. And a large part of it is that there's an identity crisis. I mean, we already know there are certain YouTube creators that even though their phenotype is not white, nevertheless, they are in denial and they are striving ever so hard to be white. Now, what I did was I put the link to the chat to get it to join the panel. So I would encourage anyone that has an opinion to join the panel or enter your comments in the chat. All that I ask is, people, let's be respectable. Okay? And maybe you might have a different view, which is perfectly fine. Let's discuss it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share share an article that I found from a source called Welcome Collection, and it's called Colonization and the Origin of Skin Bleaching. And I see we already have 5 people watching the stream, and I just want to say thank you very much. So let me just share with you the article. Skin bleaching today is a global phenomenon, but how did the practice become so widespread? Now, if I mispronounce his name, please forgive me. Nugana Adamu traces the desire for lighter skin from ancient cultures to the European colonists who exported their prejudices to the people they enslaved. Skin lightening or skin bleaching is a cosmetic procedure that aims to lighten dark areas of the skin or achieve a generally paler skin tone. Usually, used to improve the appearance of blemishes such as birthmarks and melasma, which is dark patches. Skin tightening procedure work by reducing the concentration or production of melanin in the skin. Melanin is the pigment that gives skin its color and helps to protect it from the sun. This is the NHS description of what skin bleaching is. It doesn't sound all that bad. However, it doesn't include any cultural context. Skin bleaching has become a widespread global phenomenon, and in the UK is mainly used by people from the African, Caribbean, and Asian communities. My fascination with skin bleaching came from my childhood. I was born in Nigeria to a fair-skinned mother and a dark-skinned father, where comments such as, she would be more beautiful if she had taken her mother's complexion, or she's getting darker with age were normal. Growing up in the UK as an adolescent didn't help either. I regularly heard comments from boys that will only date light skinned girls. Finally, I wanted to remain darker, but I saw how these comments affected the confidence of many women in the Black community, both in the UK and abroad. In Nigeria, being fair gave you access to hot bachelors and a lifestyle that only light skinned women could enjoy. So many women bleached their skin, damaging it rapidly. The cheap, illegal products that are used gave them a sour pinkish complexion rather than the desired caramel color that most of them yearn for. Today, we are perhaps more familiar with the porcelain white complexions of white Europeans from the 16th century onwards. The most sought-after preparation of this purpose was Venetian ceruse based on white lead. This extremely toxic mixture causes swelling, skin discoloration, erosion of tooth enamel, and hair loss. For a while, it even became fashionable to pluck the hairline to create an extremely high forehead, mimicking the effect of ceruse. Death from using lead-based skin preparation was not unknown. Professor Shirley Tate, a cultural sociologist at Leeds Beckett University, told me the practice can be traced far back to the ancient Egyptians, Romans, and Greeks who discovered that honey mixed with olive oil was a skin lightening agent and applied to this mixture to their body and face. They also used various precursors to foundation in order to look paler, including chalk dust and a mixture that in later centuries incorporated white lead. Pale skin became desirable because hundreds of years it was associated with wealth and status. After all, only rich women can afford not to work outside, thereby avoiding the skin darkening effects of the sun. And it was not only lead that people poisoned themselves with the pursuit of beauty. By the 19th century, arsenic waters had become a much promoted beauty treatment. Arsenic was known to be poisonous, but it's thought that in tiny amounts would simply induce a fashionable pallor. Unfortunately, it was also addictive, so increasing doses were needed to avoid unpleasant withdrawals and symptoms. Although the number of deaths from arsenic abuse was not trivial, many arsenic eaters managed to develop a certain tolerance for the poison and show no signs of chronic poisoning. This importance of being pale could be dangerous and addictive. So, how did this phenomenon develop in Africa and Asia? The simple answer that is conversation and slavery. An American Society paper explained to justify racial slavery, slaveholder interests exposed white supremacist ideas, which held that persons of African descent were innately inferior to whites. Whiteness became identified with that is civilized, virtuous, and beautiful. Incredible, isn't it? In this context, light skinned slaves were separated from dark skinned slaves and were able to work indoors from the glaring sun. If you had lighter skin, you were closer to the opportunities that were only afforded to white people, such as increased privileges, higher social standing, and better employment and marital prospects. In the long history of colonization by European nations, including the Portuguese, French, Dutch, and British, had a similar effect. Despite India's independence since 1947, light skin is still associated with higher social standing. In 2018, article on the importance of skin color in arranged marriage is traced back to white rule, which led to internalization of superiority and power of white skin and inferiority of powerlessness in the dark skin. So if your skin was the only barrier stopping you from having access to better opportunity, the obvious question is why not bleach? Skin bleaching represents one step closer to the societal social status historically reserved for white people. And we have a comment which is, why should you be ashamed? Okay. I'm not saying be ashamed of your European heritage. What is the issue is, it's when you have people who are ashamed of who they are and aspire to be something that they are not, with all due respect. And just for your information, when it comes to Latinos, we have influences from the indigenous people, Africa, and Spain. So we're not pure. So we're not pure white. We're not pure African. We're not pure black, and we're not pure indigenous. And again, this is not a show to denigrate white people. What this is a show that's talking about people who are obsessed about being white when they are not. So let's try to keep the focus on this topic. Okay. However, we also talk about skin bleaching as a global phenomenon. According to Professor Tate, the majority of people from Afro-Caribbean backgrounds have a negative opinion of it, socially, politically, and culturally. This is due to the connection of white supremacy and colonialism, and is linked to the negative connotation of being black has had for many years. Now we're going to be talking about bleaching in secret. For many, black skin needs to be protected and prized in its natural state. So to admit to skin bleaching would suggest that you are trying to conform to the white ideal. In the current climate of being woke, being aware of social or racial justice issues, and loving the skin you are in, many are bleaching privately and not wanting others to know that they bleach. Good evening, Gigi. It's always is a pleasure to see you in the chat. You're more than welcome to join the panel if you wish. The link is there, and I'm sure you can. You have certain views when it comes to individual identify. So your input will be greatly appreciated. But bleaching your skin should not always be seen in a negative light, as people will admit using skin lightening products to treat hyperpigmentation, vitiligo, or other skin disorders, which we'll touch on later in this series. The truth is, skin bleaching methods do not get rid of the melanin permanently. This is because the skin is constantly being renewed, which includes the formation of new melanin by melanin producing cells known as melanocytes. So users can start at any time and when they choose to. But the question is, what is the lasting effect of skin bleaching, both physically and psychologically? Okay. And we're going to stop for a moment. So unfortunately, you have certain individuals who wish to impose what is their view of beauty on others. And I see we have a guest. So before we allow the guests, I'm just going to state the disclaimer: the views of those who appear on the channel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the permission of the channel or the host is private. By entering the platform, you wave your see image. Some of the views that people may hold may be considered offensive to some people. Also, anyone that appears to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol will be removed from the panel and banned permanently. If you don't like the content, you can block the channel. And now we're going to bring in.
Hey, Jose.
Good evening, Gigi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you. I just wanted to come up and show a little support.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
I see, the reason, look, the topic for tonight is why being obsessed about being white. And let me make this clear. It's not meant to be an anti-white show. What it is, it's talking about people who are obsessed about being white.
So what people do you think are obsessed the most of being white?
I think part of it is they have an issue with low self-esteem, and they don't appreciate who they are, and that's something, to be perfectly honest. I think that's issues that multiracial and biracial people sometimes face. Am I right or am I wrong?
Some people, yeah. I mean, some people may. Oftentimes when you're mixed, people might have identity issues, maybe. And just in general, maybe in this country, people are programmed to believe white is better due to the history of our country.
I agree. First of all, I just want to acknowledge the presence of the introvert Boricua, Morena, and Reese from Philly.
Boricua. Hi, Morena.
So.
And who else? Hey, Reese.
Yes. And already we have 14 people viewing this stream. And it's like, I'm amazed and I'm touched by the amount of support.
Yes, your channel's only going to grow.
So,
you guys hit the link.
So, but of course, Sunday stream is going to be devoted fully to the biracial and multiracial community, because there is a lot of people that need to be educated, because unfortunately some people have a lot of misconceptions regarding the community.
So, okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so
I will be there.
Okay, now as far as you're concerned, have you had any issues with self-identity, being that you're mixed?
Yeah, when I was small, I did, because I met my father older in my life. So In my younger years, I was basically in an all-white family, in an mostly all-white community. So I definitely had identity issues. And then when I moved to a diverse area in Florida, then that's when everything kind of fell into place when I was around diverse populations, groups of people. But yeah, I feel like if you're anywhere, no matter what you are, if you're the minority in that area, then yeah, you're going to stand out. You're going to feel some type of way and be treated some type of way, more than likely.
Yes. I no, one thing I noticed, briefly dealing with the biracial, multiracial community. Um, you got a lot of angry feedback by certain YouTube creators. Um, what do you think is the issue?
Jose, you going straight for the T, huh? What do I think is the issue? To be honest, it's different issues for different people. For some, it may be dominance, Everybody want to be the queen, right? Everybody want to be the king, right? For some people, it's inferiority complexes towards biracial people. And sometimes it's in the opposite direction as well. Sometimes biracial people might feel some type of way about not being black enough or white enough, or it's just so many different. I don't know, Jose. I don't know why these people are crazy. I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know
well,
what their
next, okay,
problem
let's
is. Okay.
acknowledge. Let's acknowledge the young, the fearless, the defender of the multiracial and mixed people, Hazel Green.
Hazel.
Hello. Hi, Gigi.
Hi,
Hi, Theo.
beautiful.
Hi,
How
honey.
are
Hi,
you?
everybody in the chat. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. A little annoyed, but but
Why?
entertained. I'm annoyed and entertained.
Why are you
Um,
annoyed?
about this topic. Not particularly this live, just another one.
Oh,
uh,
okay. You came off of hybrids?
yeah, I'm annoyed with when people keep calling me white.
Oh, wow.
That's irritating.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're not angry with me by discussing
No, no,
it.
no. I'm not. No, no, no. I'm not angry with you. I just I realized the topic. The topic. Okay, and I forgot you were gonna go live tonight, even though you said that you were. I think it was yesterday. And then I see you go live. I see the notification. I'm like, oh my goodness. It's not that I don't want to be associated with Caucasianness. I don't care. I know it's half of my ancestry. I know it's half of a lot of us mixed race people's ancestry. It's that it's being used as a way to claim that I am racist when I'm calling out racism.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yes, you know what? I can identify for that because that accusation has been leveled at me. Never mind the fact that
They call all of us racist. That's what they
Yeah,
people do on
I know.
YouTube.
I know. I know. Meanwhile they're anti everything, everybody who's not what they are. When you're being
Yeah.
loud about it. If you're being loud and proud about it, it's not
well,
that I don't have I don't have to lie about anybody.
the fact of the
I was
matter is okay. The fact of the matter is, if you go into my channel, you're going to see that I'm the hashtag uh, multiracial Latino pride.
Yes. Yes.
mm-hmm.
Good. You be proud of that. Be proud of that.
Yeah,
I know
because you know what? Exactly. Good
they
evening,
do that
Ramon.
to Gigi. They do it to you too
Hey,
because you're Middle
Ramon.
White. Hi,
Hey,
Ramon.
hello, Don Jose.
Yeah, they
Hey,
always try to
Golden.
use.
Hey, Hazel. What's
Hey,
going on?
Hi.
nothing much.
All right.
Yeah, I just don't. It's a part of it is very entertaining, However, when somebody tries to beat that over the head about you're racist because you're white, and then I've never said that I was. I never said anything that was anti anybody else. It, after a while, it's like, come on, you're trying to incite like some type of mob kind of thing, and it's like,
And I used to, like, not used to, I do still do sometimes. It's a battle out here in these YouTube streets, you know that. But like literally going through the fire with those people, Hazel, you're gonna realize at the other end that they're gonna say the same shit forever, over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? It's just insanity. You can't really let
it's
it like
turning
upset
into
you
threats
too
of
much.
violence. It's turning into threats of
Mhm.
violence now. And that's why I draw the line. And that's why I said today to this particular person, even though I wasn't on the live with them, they were actually live streaming Hybrids live, watching whatever he was saying, whatever I'm writing in his, every time, I know you know who I'm talking about. Every time I say one little thing, I can say, hi, you big fat booger. But all of a sudden, oh my God, look what you say. Today, I made sure that this person knows that keep your on YouTube shit talking on here. Just remember that, because the other night, you and your other people were threatening violence, calling people the F word, that rhymes with maggot, all of that stuff. You could say whatever you want. Just, you have someone that's acting crazy and is threatening violence and stuff like that. You're going to be held accountable. Not only that person will be held accountable, you will be held accountable, and I'm reporting you to the proper authorities. You have the freedom in this country that you feel so oppressed in, but you have the freedom to say what you want in this country, on YouTube, on a platform that wasn't created by any of us, right? You have the freedom to say what you want, because this is America, right? You're not really as oppressed as you think you are. And you're making threats. So what I'm going to do is it's to protect myself the same way you had to go and get legal counsel for your issue, Gigi. Yeah. I'm going to start doing the same thing, because you can't be picking on people in the comments, talking or whatever. And you are not racist. I'm not racist. None of us are racist here. You could point out issues that you see. That doesn't make you racist. It's like when an actual racist says something that's extremely, inflammatory and very, because I've been called all kind of names before too. And then when you say, "Hey, that was racist," why would you call this person a monkey? Now I'm the racist because I'm pointing out you call this person a monkey. Now I'm the racist one.
Okay, you can't win.
They do stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just using every opportunity to take a swipe at you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay. Yeah. But it is entertaining because it seems like what I say has value. Is this the unknown? I'm sorry.
No, I just want to acknowledge his presence of the unknown. Says I think a lot of problems comes from the fact that a lot of people don't know how to make content. This is not a clubhouse. We make content, not friends necessarily. And and I'm gonna let and after I say whatever, I'm gonna let Ramon speak. But I find it amazing, almost comical, that you have people that's going to spend hours and hours and hours regarding the same people. Okay. Yeah. Tim. Okay. If I was you, Tim, I'll be mindful of what you say, because
no, when they're making threats, the cops do care. It's not like they're gonna do anything, because it's just speech. But when someone makes threats, you must take that seriously. I'm not saying that they're gonna go arrest her tomorrow. I'm saying when you make certain threats and you say certain things, you should bring that to the attention of the proper people. That's all I'm saying. No one is gonna go arrest her. I'm just saying there's some warning being going on,
No, the thing is that
now we have someone named Torres. I'm
Huh?
sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ramon.
we're reading. We're reading. When it comes to people making threats, yeah, I agree with what Tim is saying, because sometimes you try to report it to some authority, and they will tell you, somebody's having a
Uh-oh.
an echo. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, okay, as I was saying, it's just that the echo threw me off. Okay, there is still an echo. Um, when it comes to the whole thing with the authorities, it's like what Tim is saying. Somebody trying to make threats to you, and they might tell you to just block the person, and they won't necessarily do anything about it. I've had a situation like that with somebody trying to send messages through an app, telling me that I have to get them some money, or they're gonna come after me, they're gonna or they're gonna kidnap me and my mom and things like that, unless I give them some money or whatever. And
Oh, wow.
I have tried telling somebody somebody kind of like talking to a police officer about it, and they tell me, look, just block the number, don't respond, leave it at
Yeah.
that. And,
It
I mean,
wasn't like I'm going on the stream. I'm not going on the streams. I'm watching someone else. And yeah, I know I understand it, but I am not just a regular person, and I'm just gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm not just a regular person. So if I have to do what I have to do, it'll be more than just just block them. You know what I'm saying? You don't know in other words, is you don't really know who you're interacting with here. On their side, on this side, everybody's just talking. You don't know who knows what, who has connections and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's just best that when somebody threatens you, whether the police do anything or not, you have a right to go and speak to someone about it. I understand that they're not going to do anything right now because it's just talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't hurt for someone of higher power to know what's going on, even though they're not going to do anything right away. This is America. You have freedom of speech, but that type of speech has consequences should something go wrong.
Yeah, but also I will think first about the Second Amendment right of being able to protect oneself. I will think about that first. Then I will talk to somebody, because
I got that down pat. Don't worry about that. I take that. But where's Jose? He left. He disappeared.
Most likely he's watching. He's watching.
There you go. There you go.
I apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties, so I have to switch to another device.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Now I think Reese was trying to get on, so I'm going to put down the link again.
Yeah, but he has to make sure that he mutes the tab that he has open, because when you let him in, it came in with all kinds of echoes, and I was hearing myself, and it threw me off with what I was trying to say, because he has to make sure that his tab is muted.
Okay, yeah. I want to stay on the topic. I didn't mean to derail it. The subject is about why do people have some obsession with being Caucasian. I have no idea.
Hey guys.
I do know that a lot of it. Hi, Don Armando. I know that raised to praise that. It's ingrained in them. And then you have the other side that they're raised to hate that and fight the white power, whatever. But as far as the Latin culture, it is known that Europeanness is in certain families, not everybody, in certain families, it is praised more.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important.
Well, I can say, because as you guys know, well, maybe Golden doesn't know, but when it comes to us Hispanics, there is that old saying about better the race. And that's an old saying that goes from the Caribbean.
I do know that saying, because my mother-in-law used to say that to us.
Okay.
You was married to a Puerto Rican man, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You must have heard about it. I do remember back when I was on the island, I did hear about that phrase a couple of times when I was a kid. but it wasn't something that was drummed into my head either. So I was free to be with whoever. I strongly believe that at least us Puerto Ricans, we have been able to progress away from the mentality. But it was mentioned that to me because my mom told me about my great grandma. I mean, she were alive; she will be well over 100 years old, and she did come from a time when that mentality was more prevalent, and the whole better the race thing was more of a thing. Um,
Yeah.
but because my great grandma, she was Puerto Rican, but she was like dark skin. She was black, dark skin, and she had that mentality drilled into her head. I mean, she married somebody who was more European and had a bunch of babies with him. They still came out very brown. They still came out very brown. They still didn't come out white. But they had that mentality of kind of like whiten things out to so-called better the race. But we don't go around saying that these days. These days, people don't care. People care more about if you're gonna get with somebody, get with somebody who you look good with, no matter what company they are. Yeah, that's us. That's us. That's how we are.
Yeah, that's
My
true.
young mom.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge the fact that Dalamando is here, and we also have Reese
Hi,
from
Reese.
Philly.
What's up,
Hey,
y'all?
what
Y'all
up,
can hear me,
Reese?
all right?
Billy.
Yeah.
Am
Hey,
I sounding good?
Yo,
Yeah,
Hi,
it's
Emma.
good. Go ahead.
what part of Philly you in?
We hear you.
Oh, I'm actually moved to Camden, but I'm from North Philly.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Oh, no kidding. I'm gonna definitely have to link with you.
Of
Don
course.
and I used to go to the same high school. Maybe not the same year, but the same high school. So he's like a brother to me now.
Y'all still young bucks.
Yes, we're still young.
Yeah, so how old are you since you're saying everybody's young bucks?
52.
Damn.
Wait, who's 52?
I am, but Jose is the fossil up here, though.
Oh.
That
You know,
oh,
you,
everybody gotta go
you
for
know,
Jose.
Reese, you sound like you've been speaking with Denise Gonzalez lately.
With
Because she
who?
says the same thing.
Denise.
I don't know who that is.
Okay,
Okay.
she's another YouTube creator, and actually, she was the one that inspired me to have my own platform. And she loves to talk about that I'm old and I belonged in a nursing home and what have you. And it's like,
He's a
please,
boomer.
Man,
But I tell you
I'm a
what,
baby
though,
boomer.
you don't
being over 50 is
you know.
comfortable. It's comfortable because it seems like everybody that's under 45 is kind of crazy. So
Yeah,
I feel
Well,
lucky
I
to
can
be
vouch for
old.
that.
yeah.
Think
So,
Gigi wanted to say
Reese,
something?
what did you think about the topic?
Well, I don't identify with being white, even though my grandmother's like Portuguese and stuff. I never, growing up, I never really called myself anything black or white or any of that. That was everybody else around me. Y'all know how it goes. When you born mixed or biracial, whatever, you just
Yeah,
grow up flowing through life. You get all the bullshit from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I don't know, man. People that are
I would have
biracial
to.
and mixed that look white, if they want to identify as white and infiltrating white areas and hang around like some of my aunts do, and it's all right, man. I don't have no problem with it.
Yeah. I would have to. All my life, I've been asked, "What am I?" Because I look very mixed. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people, a lot of Caucasian people think that I am a Sicilian. I always
Wow.
get that,
Well,
and then I
let them
have
think that. Let them think that. I mean, don't explain
yeah.
yourself.
No, I just say okay, or I say, well, I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban, and they're like, really? And they say, but you look so mixed. You look mixed with something. I usually get called
Yeah, but
exotic
Puerto Ricans and
by
Cubans tend to be mixed. Yeah, like
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
duh.
we're
I'm not
like,
ashamed of it.
well, what I'm
I'm not
Nothing to be
ashamed of it.
ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of.
And my
exactly.
family used to call me, they call me mulatto too. I mean, Italians call me mulatto, but my own family calls me mulatto because I have one parent that is more Afrocentric, and my mother is more European passing. You know, so
Hazel
I
Green,
don't
you
think that's
Puerto Rican?
offensive. I don't think that's offensive. I know that that word can be offensive, but I grew up hearing that. But it's not. They never said it in a way to demean me. They just said that that's what I am.
I mean,
Yeah.
What is this guy in the audience talking about? Mixed versus black? There is no mixed versus black thing.
Yeah, that's not happening here.
Yeah, but it's like
You
okay,
guys on your side do not do that. The Golden Sphere does not. I know you all are not doing that.
No, okay. Look,
I don't know if you guys know
we
that
have
person if they're trolling.
we do have some what we call Hispano taps
Oh,
yeah,
that
No, but they don't matter.
that's
Don't Jose,
about
don't bother with them. They
us.
don't matter. They don't matter. They don't matter.
no,
That's a
they really
fringe.
don't.
That's like a fringe contingent of people that want things to go back to the Spanish Empire. I mean, that's not gonna happen. But whatever. Let them think like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I mean, it's part of that, but then if you really look at it, it looks like some of these Hispanoteps got a identity crisis. So the only thing that they've been forced down their tube and everything like that is Spain, and they talking about the glorias of Spain. But most of the people that identify as Hispanoteps never really took a trip to Spain. So when they take a trip to Spain and when they get treated like
Like a
dirt,
foreigner. Like a foreigner.
exactly.
yeah, they're gonna be
Nothing.
for a big surprise.
Yeah.
What is
yeah.
what is
If they don't have-
Hispano What is
if, not-
that?
if they don't have the paperwork in
Hispano
order,
tap,
and
right?
then
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out too. I don't know
All
what
right,
that means.
Hispanotep is our version of a hotel.
Okay.
Like for example, you got some black.
Jose
people,
trying to
right?
say something.
Okay.
I just want to acknowledge Denise and MK in the chat. I know that the unknown is not Hispanotype. I'm just simply saying that there's some people who are Hispanotypes. That's all.
yeah, but it's like
Maybe
whatever.
Denise will join so Rita can get acquainted with Denise.
Yes, Denise. The link is there. You're more than welcome.
She's
to
smart
join
and
the
she's
party.
funny.
Yeah,
Yes, that's true.
She's very funny.
I'm just
So a
hood guy.
Hispanotep is one of these Spanish dudes that got knowledge of self and be wearing dashikis and all that.
No,
No?
What is it exactly?
No.
No.
They're always talking about things that have to do with Spain and how the colonization from Spain of the Central Americans and the Caribbean wasn't really that bad, and there were no rapes of native women, and
Oh, that's a lie.
that didn't happen like that because there were these nice marriages from the very beginning, and it was all peaceful, and it was a peaceful transition. There were no
Shit.
wars. There was no bloodshed. That's what they say. That's what they talk about. Like,
That's bullshit. Yo, listen. I come from Portuguese lineage, man. And my grandmother.
So do I.
Yeah, who said that?
Me.
Don
Okay.
Armando.
That man.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is what happened in South America is buried history. It was worse than what happened in North America. And what is the proof of that? If you take a look at South America, look, y'all, how many niggas down there and how many niggas up here? Think about it. You go to South America, it's black people everywhere. They dominate the cities. Dark colored people that are obviously black. You see what I'm saying?
No, but you can say that. You can say that with the Hispanotypes. They say that most people are light skinned and they're
Shit.
mixed. And no, that's what they say. Even though there were like 5 million slaves that were brought to Brazil alone, and we know that, but they still say that the most Brazilians are light skinned and okay, the Argentines, yes, most Argentines are like more of the or whiter, more European because they did have like kind of like they bred out the natives there, but in Brazil they tried to do that and it didn't really work. They had open borders for anybody that was a European, and they let everybody that was European in without requirements, without having to go through an immigration process. But there were like 5 million slaves in Brazil alone, so that you can't breed that out that easily. So
Most of the light-skinned people in South America is in Argentina. Everybody south of Argentina look like me or darker. Most of them.
Yeah.
That's a black continent,
I
man.
just want to acknowledge. Okay, I just want to acknowledge the fact that Moises is in the chat. Good evening, Moises.
Good
And
evening.
of course, we
Look at
got
Denise
Denise saying
Gonzalez. Her
Hispanic text
picture.
don't
She
read.
official.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
She official.
Thank you, Denise, for saying that if you claim Hispanic, you are also claiming you are not white. Thank you, sweetie, for saying that, because too many times today I've been called a white woman. Thank you for standing up for me.
No,
But
no,
Hazel, hold up, Hazel. You have you obviously have a Spanish accent. Anybody who talks to you is going to know that you're Spanish from the rip.
Yeah.
How do people mistake you for white?
Because I stand up for the golden sphere, that's why, and Hispanics all the time.
So they're just shots.
Yeah. I mean, it was entertaining at first, but it's been going on for like a month now, and now it's just freaking irritating. So
You see how silliness manifests itself? Like you don't even have to look for it.
yeah.
The silliness
Yeah,
is in the shot. You know what I mean? Like you have a Spanish
we're coming to
accent, but
take
people
everything
calling you
from
white. It's crazy.
I'm racist for standing up for someone who was being bullied. I'm racist because I called out a person for some of the most inflammatory things she said, and then someone else. There was another gentleman doing that, but
Yes,
he's
I
disappeared
was
for
there.
10 days already. And now because I told everyone my ancestry, that because my first of all, my mother is called white as well, and she doesn't like that. She wants to be acknowledged as a Puerto Rican. She understands that Puerto Rican is not a race, but she doesn't want to be called white. And now because of that, now I'm being called white, and because I have light skin, I have green eyes, and I have soft, long, curly. Well, it's not long anymore. I cut it short. Yeah, for those reasons.
This is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
All of a sudden, I'm also oppressing. I'm being racist. I'm taking away from the FBA, ADOS. I'm part of the infiltration to destroy Black nationalists.
All right. Yeah, I've heard that crap too. I mean, me personally, I've been going through this crap all my life.
Okay.
I mean, all right, don't Jose.
You just have
Yeah,
to
don't
acknowledge
Jose.
the fact that, unfortunately, Gigi says she had
Yeah,
to
with
leave, and I
you.
just want to acknowledge the fact. Okay, may I continue?
All right. I've been going through this
As
all my life. Okay.
okay,
No,
I'm
it's
going
just
to go
there seems to
into
be a
other
little
people's
of a
faces.
delay. Yeah.
All right.
No, there seems to be a delay. I mean, we're keeping quiet, but we don't hear anything, and then they say something, and we start hearing you. There seems to be kind of like a delay, but I'll stay
That's
quiet.
what I'm saying.
Okay, no, I just want to acknowledge the fact that Tampa Supreme is, it's on the chat. Gigi, unfortunately, she said she had to leave, and Denise said, "Oh, it's Olga Hazel. I have a full-blown Afro-Latino father, and all the people call me white all the time." I'm starting to see that it all depends on how skin looks against ours.
Yeah.
And okay. Well, I just want to acknowledge the fact that right now 15 people are actually watching this stream, and we have already 11 likes. And now we have Tim with his comment saying, Denise, according to Julian Stevens, both parents have to be 100% Black and to be Afro-Latino. So keep.
Wait, what was that? I didn't hear that. Can you repeat that whole thing again about what parents have to be what?
Okay,
No, it's in the chat.
Okay,
It's in the chat.
okay, good. Okay, Tennyson said, according to Julian Stevens, both parents have to be 100% Black to be Afro-Latino. So let the gatekeeping. Let's gatekeeper begging.
I mean,
Begin.
okay,
Begin.
like,
I think him and begin.
Oh, begin. Okay. Well,
No,
Tim,
but the thing is that
Tim, if you're so sure about it, why don't you join the panel? Because it's one thing to make comments like that. It's another thing to join the panel and actually express your point of view.
You know what's funny? My family tells me I'm only Puerto Rican because I'm supposed to be what my mother is. That I'm only Puerto Rican, even though. But now my mother says something different. My mother said, "Oh, no, you're Cuban. You're both." And for a long time, I was called Puerto Rican by my own family, and that I'm considered a mulata.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're talking about nationality and race. Let's not confuse those things. I mean, because
No,
if
I
you say
know.
Puerto Rican,
I
Cuban,
know.
you're talking about nationalities, and then you're
Yeah.
jumping into race. I mean, no, I'm not saying you are doing that, but there are people that confuse those things, and they think that,
Oh, okay.
that being Cuban and Puerto Rican is a race, and that's not a race.
No,
I mean,
yeah, I know. I know. That is my nationality. I have two different types of, islands, but my race is mixed. My actual
yeah,
race is really
yeah,
it's mixed. It's
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
for
I mean, it's something that I don't do identifying by one race because I know that I'm a mixture myself. So I don't get into the race talk so much. I did hop in because I found it interesting, but yeah, nobody has to convince anybody of anything. I mean, every person can know themselves and what they are racially, learn about it, learn about their ancestry and all of that. But nobody has to explain to other people anything. I mean, there are people that are always. I can only imagine what it was like for you, Hazel. I mean, people are always asking you what are you
what
racially,
are you?
and
Yeah,
having to
trust
explain
me.
yourself. I can only imagine.
all
Trust.
the time, all
Okay.
the
Yeah,
time.
yo, Hazel, we know what we're talking
Okay.
about because you and I we had similar experiences. Like when I
Yeah,
was dealing with that gentleman, I guess that lives in Europe and stuff. It was
yeah,
funny how he was trying to force the point on telling me
yeah.
that I'm an African American. I was like, bruh, my parents
Yeah,
came
he
to
was trying to tell you what you're not.
yeah
He was trying to tell you what you're
that joint
That must
was
that must be so annoying. Somebody else
not.
trying to lecture you about who you are. That must the
yo
audacity.
dad. I was
And you're
like,
Dominican,
okay,
you're Dominican, you're Dominican. That's what what Cardi B. I'm Dominican, I'm Dominican, I'm Dominican. You are Dominican, you are Dominican, you're Dominican. Nobody has to like that. I don't care. You Dominican. You say you're Dominican. You don't look any different than the Dominicans I know. You're Dominican, and that's it.
thank you.
um, yes, Don Jose, Don Jose. Let's hear.
Shout out to Sundown.
That's right. Is somebody in the
Okay.
sundown?
Yo,
Yeah.
what's up, Jose?
Okay. At this point, I'm just going to mute myself and let everybody speak.
You
No, Don
want? Do you want to
Jose.
say
It's just
something,
that there
Jose?
is
You
a
can go.
delay. No, it's just that there seems to be a delay on Jose's end, and that's why it seems like we're interrupting him. But I'll stay quiet. I'll wait for you.
Okay. I just want to acknowledge the fact that Moran is in the chat, and we also have Sundown. Um, it's just that unfortunately I'm having technical difficulties. But it's just that there is a delay. But I just want to acknowledge the fact that Sundown's here for the first time. Good evening, Sundown. Thank you very much for joining the panel.
Hello.
Hi, sundown.
Hello. How's it going?
Good,
Sonda,
good.
Madul, what's going on?
Not much. Not much.
All right.
I just wanted to bring up something. So I've been a little fly on the wall for a few years now, and I've listened to like all parties. So like you have, say, nationalists. You have, say, like white nationalists. You have like I guess Hispanic nationalists. So I've sat in and I've just listened to some of the things that they've said, just to get a clearer understanding of what their viewpoint is. One thing that I have noticed is that there are a lot of, I guess you could say, right-leaning, say, white people. They have an issue with Hispanics, and that issue comes from, like, if you look up FBI statistics, you know how like FBI statistics, they'll say black crime is this percent, Hispanic crime is this percent, white crime is this percent. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of their arguments is, I've even heard one say that like white crime would be down by like 20%. But the judicial system has a habit of classifying Hispanics as white. And they're like, they're not white, they're Hispanic, they're their own thing. but they get lumped in with us, and our statistics go up by like 25%. So if you could actually classify them the right way, our crime would be lower and their crime would be higher. So in certain sectors, they'll be like, no, you guys are not, of us. You guys are your own ethnicity. Classify yourself as your own. Stop being lumped in with us. You make our, crime statistics go way up. I don't know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're
I
talking
have never
That's the
heard
thing.
of that.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, I
I've
hear
heard
you. I hear you.
But a lot of times it's being chosen for us. Like I said, my mother does not pick race. She just puts Hispanic, but they mark her as white.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
There is a certain form that I have filled out a couple of times. Sundown is gonna know what I'm talking about. The 4473, and
Yes.
when you have to fill out that part when it comes to race, there is a separate part that asks you if you are Hispanic or Latino, and then because I do check the part about it being Hispanic or Latino because that's what I am, then I can't check anything other than white on when it comes to race. That's the way it's
Right.
set up. And I have asked about it because I'm Hispanic, but I'm not one defined race. And they tell me, well, if you check the Hispanic Latino part, then you have to check white. That's by default. I can't check anything else. So they set it up like that. Mm-hmm.
Jose?
Okay. I just want to acknowledge the fact that Magic Mulata is in the chat, and also Smoothio. Good evening, people. Thank you very much for appearing on that. And I want to out my cyber son, the 18th letter.
Hi, 18th letter.
Hey,
What's going
what's
on?
up, Hazel? Shout out to my boy, the introvert Boricua. Shout out to my YouTube dad, Jose Negron. Shout out to Don. Shout out to Sundown, and shout out to Reese.
You know something? And when I re-registered to vote 2 weeks ago, I re-registered down here in Florida. When I check Hispanic, that is it. Hispanic is, I don't know if that's everywhere in Florida, but I live in Central Florida. You check if you're white, non-white Hispanic, African American or Black American, Island Pacificer, all these other things. And then when it comes to Hispanic, that is it. You just check Hispanic. There is no white, Black, there's no race. I've noticed that down here, and like this man Sundown was saying, that maybe that is where this whole thing with crime rate going up for Caucasian people, because there used to be where you pick, for Hispanic, you can still pick a race, or it says 2 or more. Now I saw Hispanic and then 2 or more races. I only put Hispanic. What is the 2 or more race? To me, that's somebody that's biracial, right? So, but I know I'm Hispanic, so that's what I put.
Yeah. Again, when it comes to these federal forms, that's how they have it set up. No matter what you think of yourself, they kind of try to force you legally to be something that you are not necessarily. So
I was talking to Radical, and he did like a segment on this, meaning that certain people, they try to do this like towards Hispanics, like around Texas and such, because that way, like say if it's a white if it's white guys fighting, right, and they could beat up on a Hispanic person, then if that person is the victim and everything like that, and they're white, they'll be like, okay, there's just 2 white guys fighting. When the fact is, this is it was a white versus Hispanic, but yet they classified both of them as white. Radical, he actually did a show. He actually did a segment about this on why they trying to do that that thing on federal forms, so therefore certain people could get away with crimes and all the other stuff of that matter.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Gentlemen, I'm gonna step down.
Bye, Hazel.
All right.
I got things to do. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, Hazel.
Take it easy.
Well, thank you for stopping by, Hazel.
You're welcome, and all you gentlemen. Thank you for the great conversation. I love you all, and I'll see you in the chat.
Take
Okay.
care. See you next time.
See you
Goodbye.
next.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually
Well,
why I jumped on. I just wanted to bring that up.
well, I
Uh,
just want to acknowledge the fact.
Look at her comment.
the white privilege
Okay.
that according to white people doesn't exist, right? That white privilege. Hey, Magic Mulata.
So I missed quite a bit of the conversation. What's been the topic so far?
Okay. Actually, the topic is why that people are being obsessed about being white.
Well, I say, we just got to be honest here. I mean, when you look at past history, a lot of people have benefited, or even in the inception not only of America, but in the inception of certain countries in South America and even in the Caribbean, a lot of people is due to colonization. A lot of people want to be close as white as possible because the closer you are to whiteness, the more status that you have. And people just should just be honest about that at that
Hmm.
particular point. A lot of people, want to dance around it, but we know that, especially uh, based look at the conversations we've had for the last 2 to 3 years with the Hispanoteps and some of these other guys on here. Look at the things that they said, the disparaging things that a lot of people have said. And let's just be like Black Americans, especially. We haven't done anything to anybody. We haven't like not as far as on a group versus group basis. We haven't colonized anybody's lands. We haven't enslaved anybody's people. We haven't established borders that people can cross over. We haven't done any of those types of things. But for some reason, we still get the uh, bulk of the hatred, and even some of my people, like I got a lot of love for my Latin people, but let's be honest, you heard your abuela saying how they didn't want you to date any black guys growing up, or you want to date as close as white to possible. No difference here in the United States with the rampant racism and different things like that. The first time I've ever heard the term Afro Latino was like that had to be about 2008, 2009, and it was coming from a woman from Panama who, was talking about the racism down in Panama that the the black Panamanians was experiencing, and different other groups in Latin America, like the Colombians and various other people, the history of racism in Cuba, and various things like that. So this is not like some type of strange dynamic that people are not familiar with. They know it's existed, and it's existed for quite some time, not just here in the United States, but in all of the Western world where things have been colonized.
Yeah.
Okay.
As for me, it's like, okay, me, I have like uh I've been raised in different places in my life, and there's certain people like the Hispano types. They go around, they tell me, oh yeah, because I went up and I revealed something for myself. Both of my parents were born in the Dominican Republic, but on my mother's side, her family came from St. Kitts. Oh, the Hispano types was calling me an infiltrator and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, what am I infiltrating when my grandparents came to the Dominican Republic like 100 years ago, right? Technically. So, and then on top of it, they were telling me that, oh yeah, you ain't got no Iberian blood. You only got black and British blood. I'm like, first of all, look at my last name. It's my actual last name. It will be Robles, right? So where where would Robles fit in the English dictionary? First of all, and then and then everybody talks about this guy. I don't know who the heck he is, and I still don't know who he is. They always compare me to some guy named Creyente or whatever the heck it is. I'm like, who the heck is this Creyente? And second of all, why the heck, if I'm telling you my story, why the heck you're trying to put holes into my story and when I lived there and you didn't? That's one thing I gotta say.
Yeah, again, those that try
Okay.
to lecture people
I just
about
want to read some of
themselves.
these comments. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself for the rest of the evening.
No, Don Jose, I'm quiet. I'm quiet.
Go ahead.
Now.
I'm gonna mute myself for the rest. No, I'm gonna mute myself for the rest of the evening because I'm trying. No, go ahead. I won't say a word.
All right, Don Jose.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just trying to read some. Okay. Okay. Now, Denise said, first, we weren't affected by Jim Crow like Afro Latinos did. They didn't have the migration crawlers even Asians had. And even after the civil rights movement, then the Hispanic term was created to profit. And then she said, from affirmative action and welfare, GTFOH, read your damn history. And then Magic Malala said Tiffany Haddish did a comedy skit about her always checking out her white box and everything and how much life is better because of it. And then Tim Asuna said it's actually is. And then Denise said it's part of the community, shouldn't be part than Asian as white. They lost their time here doing nothing with their opportunities. And then Tim said you can't name the benefit from being white on paper. And then Denise said, you have privilege. It's not anti-S fault. You haven't figured out how to use it. And then Tim said, you look so much like a squirrel over there with another squirrel over there with no. Tim, keep it up. You're going to be blocked. I'm just letting you know right here and now. And then Denise says, it's mathematically impossible for Asians to make more money than Mexican and Central Americans when the delay and further discriminated against because they weren't white enough. So go ahead, please.
Yeah, Tim needs to fall back in the chat, man. He wilding.
The next negative comment, he's going to be blocked. So I'm giving you fair warning now, Tim. I don't mind a little trolling, but this is getting ridiculous. Please continue.
I think introvert Boricua was going.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, if anybody else have something that they wanted to chime in with, I'll wait.
I want to tell y'all
yeah.
a story
Okay.
about my
Whoever wishes
grandmother,
to
yo.
speak, go ahead.
Okay,
My
I'll
grandma-
just say something.
Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead, Reese.
All right, real quickly. I'm a little older than most people. I'm 52. So that would put my grandmother, over 100 years ago. But she told me stories. She looked like a white woman and talked like one. No one knew what she was. She talked to me about how she used to sit in a room with whites and just collect information and, listen to how they were talking about the other kinds of people. The whole time while she's in the room, they don't know that she's, Portuguese and married to a black man, has a black family and all of that. And man, there is white privilege, man. There is, because they really look out for each other and they make it their business to discuss it just that way too. When no one else is around, though, that's the only time that they do that. And I've heard hundreds of stories about what whites used to say about Spanish people and black people, and it's just real deep, man. I don't know if that still happens now. I don't know if any of y'all got like a family member that looks white, talks white, and just is around white people all the time, and they tell y'all that kind of stuff. But some of the stories are fascinating. I just wanted to say that real quick.
I mean, I've seen that in their own workplace because
Yeah.
I worked in a glass factory in Philadelphia, and most of the people who had the top positions were white, and there was like, oh yeah, this person's is your new boss. and they might know like maybe a computer program and stuff. But then when you actually check the guy's record, he's a rapist. So
Damn.
therefore, yeah. So therefore, it's like I'm just putting it out there right now. Um, there's a certain glass company in Philadelphia that actually hire rapists, and they don't care if you do that or anything like that. As long as you fit the description, they'll promote you.
All right, I got another interesting story. So my cousin, he also looks like a white guy, right? And he works at an old folks home in Delaware County, right outside of Philadelphia.
Right.
This old folks home has 300 plus residents in it, and it's listed as an old folks home. But what it is in all actuality is it houses Catholic priests and child predators that were convicted in court. Y'all heard me? Convicted.
Yeah.
So this was an alternative to them going to prison for whatever reasons. I don't know if it was medical reasons. I know if I touch a kid, I'm going to go to a real jail with bars and guards and all that type of shit in the hole and a mess hall. But this is an old folks home, and their people can come and go. Nobody gets searched or none of that. They can leave if they want. And there's over 300 residents there, and every last one of them is from some archdiocese somewhere and has charges against them against a child. Well, I'm going to find out the name of this and the name of this place and do a video about it because it's a real thing, and a lot of people don't know that it exists. And I even questioned my cousin about it and asked him, like, well, how could you work somewhere like this? He was like, it is what it is. His degree landed him there. I mean, he hates those people, but I don't know why he stays around them. But that's something real fucked up that's going on. You know what I mean? And that's just another example of how, like, one of my family members who looks white infiltrated a certain situation because of the way they look. Because I highly doubt if he looked brown like me, he would have got that job. I just wanted to share that with y'all.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say that most people,
I mean-
go ahead, Don.
I mean, if you actually look at it, right, you got it actually extends to actual corporate America because you have certain people who belong to certain fraternities, depending on which part you're from in Europe, etc. So, take it for example, you have certain Portuguese who actually control Boston. I haven't been to Boston, but I have cousins that tell me about Boston, and they'll be like, "There's like one section that in Boston you cannot walk in if you're not Portuguese." I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll have to do a DNA test then."
My grandmother's from Portugal, and she married a black man out of spite against her racist parents. Her parents were racist. Her parents were actually like descendants from, they were merchants on slave ships. Their parents were merchants on slave ships back and forth to South America. So her whole family was racist except for her. I don't know how she got these views and, why she wasn't like the rest of her family. I never got that part of the story. But I do know that she married a man that was mixed with black, and she did it out of spite to go against her parents. And the two of them, they smuggled themselves to the United States in the bow of a freight ship. They went 3 days without food to get to America. So my ancestry in America doesn't even go back 150 years.
Okay.
Same here.
Excuse me, I just want to acknowledge Danny and Blunt Moon in the chat. I apologize. I keep having to change laptops because there's a situation with my Wi-Fi. It seems to be okay for now. I appreciate the fact that there are currently 18 people watching this stream. I just want to say thank you very much.
Good.
Of course, Jose, you're talking about
Yeah,
race. Of course, there are people Yeah, go on, Rakim.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak on this topic. The thing is that people just need to be honest, man. People just need to be honest. There's a lot of disingenuous people. Yes, there's a lot of people of other groups that aspire to be as close as white as possible because of the status. Let's just keep it real. White people didn't obtain, like the funny thing is, like, you'll have people like that get on here and try to say things like, "Oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do this and do that." Black people have done that 3 times, 4 times, 5 times over. A lot of white people in this country, especially here in America, did not obtain everything that they have through fair and square hard work. Let's just keep it real about that. The reason why a lot of people aspire to be white is because of what they've seen on television, what's been projected to them, and what's been passed down from generation to generation. Let's just keep it a buck about that. A lot of people try to dance around that, but that's just what it is. And a lot of people have negative. A lot of people have prejudiced views on other groups, and everybody's prejudiced to an extent. But let's just, like, a lot of people just don't want to be honest about that. We like to dance around it and don't attack it straight.
Okay. I just want to acknowledge the fact that so far I've gotten 16 likes.
Good.
That's good.
And you know what? And I appreciate all the support. I see Denise is chiming in. Indeed, Joaquin, it's usually people that don't even have your issues are dirt poor, but pure laziness. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it could actually be pure laziness, but then other times it's like you have certain people that they have generations of, I'm talking about generational wealth on just screwing over one community.
Mhm.
I mean, I can name a lot of examples, but then I might be sued by those companies. So, but everybody knows
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
Yeah,
Let's
I
bring
mean,
Reese back into. I'm sorry. Let's bring Reese back into the conversation. Go ahead, Reese.
Oh yeah, well, I want to share with y'all about how things were a little bit back in the day, like in the 70s and 80s. And I can remember times where I've benefited in certain situations just from being light skinned. Now here I am cammed up. I obviously don't look white. Not at all. Even though I was born that way. But, as a
same
young
here.
man huh?
Same here.
Right. As I got tan as I got older. As a young boy, I'm walking the earth as a black man, but I'm really, really high yellow. And I noticed how white people were treating me better than my darker friends and stuff, even my darker family members. And it was a real thing back then. I don't notice it so much today, but I don't know if anybody here is like familiar with anything like that, ever had an experience like that, because that's a weird feeling, man. It's a weird feeling. Sometimes I don't like getting that benefit.
I mean,
Nah,
Go ahead.
I kind of know what you're talking about because certain people, they have always called me light skinned, but I think they're on crack. But yeah, because they was like, "Hey, you're light skinned." So if I'm so light skinned, how come the NYPD is stopping me? It doesn't make any
Facts.
sense.
I'm mixed. I understand it, but I will live my life as a black man to the day I die because of what everyone else thinks. And I understand this. The police are going to see me as a black man. I walk like a ball player. I wear baseball hats. I'm 6'3". You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the judgment comes from everywhere else, and it's crazy. And it don't bother me. You know what I mean? It makes me kind of, I'm be honest with you, it makes me kind of feel special. I'm going to say that. Because I'm not going to, I don't look at things, I try to pull the positive out of everything. You know what I mean? Even if it's a negative situation or some type of an attack or judgment, I'm going to find some type of joke or positivity in it. You know what I mean? So when this type of stuff, when I get these judgments and that stuff comes at me, I laugh at it and it makes me feel good. Because if people are acknowledging me, that must mean there's something special about me for whatever reason.
Yep.
nah,
Okay.
like me personally, I don't. All right, go ahead, Jose.
I just want to address Blackmore. Why are you so obsessed regarding how Donald Manuel is identifying himself? If he said he's Dominican, he's Dominican. I mean, I don't understand what's the whole point of trying to say otherwise. I mean, other than just to say gotcha.
I know, right? I mean, like,
I
come
mean,
on.
And I just wanted to speak on something that Blood Moon said in the chats. Blood Moon, when she was saying about education. Education, it doesn't take everybody as far as it presents itself to be. You got a lot of people that got master's degrees, that got doctorate degrees, that's barely making $30,000 or $40,000 a year. You got people that's doing blue collar work that's making more than people that got master's degrees that's in debt right now. A lot of people that have had education, it's been people here that did that 5 times, 6 times over. So it doesn't always equate to more money just because you have an advanced education. It definitely depends on the field, and if the field is needed for this particular economy in today's society. But also, like, I've never really experienced the light skin, dark skin thing, because I'm like, like, I never really subscribed to that, but I do know it was a point. See, everything, like, people, we act like a lot of this is new. A lot of this is not new. All you got to do is crack open a book and read it. It's been here. Like, we do know at one particular time we had the brown paper bag test. We know about the Blue Vein Society. We know about the Creoles in Louisiana. We know about people that established themselves under the moniker color, to make sure that they was one level above black people until I believe it may have been after 1865, after slavery, where everyone was put into the classification as black. So a lot of those advantages, well, at least on the global level, on a countrywide level, but some of those advantages was lost as time went on, and some of these groups just blended in with black people as time went on. So. Yeah, Blood Moon. If this country wanted people with a skill, then
okay. Excuse me. The link is in the chat. If anybody wants to join the panel and disagree with what anyone else is saying, by all means, do so. This is your opportunity. Prove us wrong.
I mean, me personally, if a person is so sure that I'm not Dominican, why don't you add my Facebook? I can put the link right there, unless they're scared to add me.
Hey, I'll say this. I'll just say this, Don, brother. Don't trip on that shit, man.
No,
don't trip on that, because
I'm not, because you know why? I live off of this because I love proving people wrong. So I'm like, yo,
nah, I mean,
if they go and they want to talk about that stuff, like, here's the proof. I'm putting it out there. If that person is scared to add my Facebook, that means that A, you're ignorant, and 2, you don't want to know the truth. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not even tripping.
Get some good comments.
But don't let it bother you, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don Armando. Okay, Don Armando. Okay. Look, as long as you know who you are, that's what counts. Okay.
Exactly.
If people don't want to accept it, that's perfectly fine. There are people out there.
Nobody's obsessed with your opinions, because you know why? None of it is factual. I just got to say that. Your opinions ain't factual, just like that.
You know what?
That's it. As I was saying,
Don Armando. Yes, go ahead. Please continue.
Yeah, just if you actually look at it, right? You got certain people who, like, it differentiates from culture to culture, but then you have certain people that have been ingrained with that white is better, and it's not just for today. It's been going on for like 400 or 500 years. So, and then on top of it, what makes it worse is that you have certain people that all they do is look at American films, and sometimes it actually showcase the racism. It may not showcase the racism as somebody saying the N-word all the time towards a black person, but it shows it subtly. Like, for example, in most action films or whatever, I'm talking about maybe the 70s and 80s. This is like before the black exploitation. you had certain people that they were the villain, and they always try to cast the villain as a black person, or in certain cases, a Spanish person. And then, since they couldn't get a Spanish person, they got somebody who might have been of Syrian or Lebanese origin to play a Spanish person. If you actually look at Scarface, the only person who was actually Hispanic was what's his name? Was Tony's partner before he got killed, Manolo. So therefore, it's in Hollywood and how people try to promote. I don't know what it. I don't know, racism or classism, whatever the case may be. It's been all over.
Yeah, even you don't even got to go that far to even. I mean, for people that say, like I said, any way that you look at colonization, look at India. India was colonized by the British. They got skin lightening commercials all over India, where the lighter you are, the closer to white you look, the higher you are on the caste system. The darker you are, the lower you are on the caste system. You can find videos on YouTube of Indian women and men both talking about that, and the colorism that goes on in India. Anyway, you have the Japanese, not just the Japanese, but people in Asia who's trying to get the Western eye surgery, where they're trying to get rid of the slants out of their eyes to appear more Western, which means Western, we mean, European. So this is obvious, man. And anybody that deny that is either you're ignorant or you're just disingenuous. Because all you got to do is, we got too much information out here to that showed you different. Like So I don't know. I mean, that's that. Like, that's that. Like, for instance, you got some people that say, you got people, like, especially black people, that want to be other groups. I'm not. Maybe it has been a few individuals that has done that, but from where I'm from, I didn't see black people trying to imitate or emulate to be like anybody but who we were. Like I said that plenty of times before. We got our own culture, we got our own slang, we got our own way of talking, our own dialect, our own history, our own food, everything else, and I'm proud of that. And like, usually, if you have individuals that's doing that, they wasn't taught any self pride at home, and they wasn't taught any self respect, because unfortunately, here in this country, black people have a very different history from everybody else. A very different history. And hey, if you want to learn it, you can learn it. If you don't, hey, you don't. And you gotta, people got their choice. They can do, if they want to be prejudiced, they want to be bigoted, let them be bigoted. We ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. We did and accomplished every possible thing that you can think of in this country, being under a minority, the only minority here at one particular point, next to the natives that were under a dominated society. And we built and established things underneath that, and invented quite a few things underneath that. So, it is what it is when it comes to that. But a lot of people, you're gonna run past a lot of people that just they don't like you for whatever reason. I just dealt with a man that was racist the other day. He tried to talk to me crazy. I had to put him in his place. Like, dude, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I showed you proper respect. You're gonna show me mine. If you're not gonna show me my respect, you can get up out my face, or we can go whichever way you want it to go. Period. Point blank. After that, he apologized and, oh, I'm sorry, I'm having a bad day. Yeah, I'm having a bad day too. But if you disrespect me, then you give me free will to take out my bad day on you, just like you're trying to take out yours on me. And that's how you address these people. It's going to be a lot of obstacles we got to get around. There's going to be a lot of people that don't want to see us with anything. It's just like, yeah, it's just like the same people that, everybody got an opinion on reparations after everything that black people built in this country off of free labor that they didn't get compensated for. It's just like, if I built something or I established something and I wasn't able to get it, or anybody wasn't able to get it, you will want your children to have it, right? And if your children wasn't able to get it, you will want your grandchildren to have it, right? It's like me, like what's going on in South Africa right now. It's like, if I took my black American self out there to South Africa, and they talking about getting reparations from apartheid, and I say, oh, you know what? Reparations for apartheid, man, I don't know about that. You think every eye in that room won't turn up and look at me like, who the hell are you to talk about us getting whatever for anything? Leroy, you can head back to America. So, like people just don't know how to keep it honest, man. People just don't want to admit that they internalized some of the things that was passed down from generation to generation in their family and in their community. Some people believe that, some people agree with that, and that's just what it is.
I mean, yeah, and talking about how should I say, the Hispano fear, whatever, or Hispano taps or whatever. I mean, you have to actually look at it, right? I mean, I'm facing a situation within my job right now because apparently I talk to everybody in Spanish in my job because my job is like maybe 50% Latino. So there's this black guy in my job that he thinks that Latinos are supposed to translate for a girl that he likes. And he tried to bully Latinos and everything. And he even tried to bully me until I cursed him out in front of supervisors. And it was like, oh, you could get fired. I was like, I don't care. I could actually take this to fighting. So let's do this. You're gonna find me or what? I said that in my job.
Damn.
Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna go around and disrespect my people, you want to go around and rob my people and everything like that. It doesn't have to be with it doesn't have to do with race or anything like that. You robbing my people and everything like that. You want to go and disrespect my people over a female that don't even know that you exist, and then you trying to bully me. I don't like bullies, and you ain't gonna bully me at my 39 years of age. That's it.
You 39?
Yep.
Yeah, you're a little bit younger than me, but I wonder if you're old enough to remember when Spanish Latinos and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, people like that, were kind of they didn't have the stature and buzz that they have now. Back in the day, they were almost bullied, like picked on a little bit, considered soft. You know what I mean? I used to hear this a lot because I was always lined up with them. People would see me and automatically think that I was Spanish or something. And I used to hear
Okay,
black people.
excuse me.
My bad.
I've been trying to speak for the last
All
5
right.
minutes.
Don Jose.
Reese, let's hang on to your thought, Don Jose.
I am.
Go on.
All right.
Okay, first of all, I just want to acknowledge the fact that Angry Biracials in the chat. Someone else in the chat, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance because every time I try to talk, I get caught off on my own stream.
Damn,
I know, Denise, but every time I try to interrupt, I keep getting cut. So at this point, I'm just gonna remain mute for the rest of the evening, and just leave it like that.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish. But Jose, it's hard to hear you sometimes, and I think it's like a delay is coming in late. So when you're by the time your voice hits our ears, we're talking already, or something's going wrong. Because I can hear it when some of y'all are over talking each other. I can tell that one person can't hear the other, and the voice is coming in late. You know what I mean? It's something technical going on.
It might be the Wi-Fi. And sometimes in Portchester it does that too.
Yeah, so when you want to jump in, just tell everybody be quiet. That's all.
Got you.
I know, but I don't want to get to the point when I have to yell just to get a word in edgewise.
No, don't yell at us. Just stop us. They're like, everybody be quiet. You know, it's your show, so take charge. It's five of us. So
yeah, I saw your post. That's why I was staying quiet.
Yeah. I'm going to finish up and then I'm going to stop, though. But what I was saying is, like, back in the day, a lot of Spanish guys caught hell, man.
Okay, will someone please excuse Ruby? Okay, you know what? Someone please delete Ruby now sober now because...
Okay, Ruby, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You
Come on, man. There ain't nothing wrong with what he's doing. Yo, that's not cool. Jose is the most laid back dude on YouTube.
Thank you.
Nah, shorty, you out of line. Yeah, Jose, I'm gonna finish up and then I'm gonna be quiet. Now, what I was saying is, like, back in the day, a lot of Spanish people were picked on by blacks. I remember being with my black friends and listening to them talk about Spanish guys, and I remember hanging out with my Spanish dudes and, actually fighting against black guys. And I was picked on myself a little bit as a youngin', for the way I looked. And the beauty of being golden is there's a mixed bag of identities that are here. You know what I mean? We got a guy that's Blasian, black and Asian. Then there's a girl that's half Spanish, half white. Her and the guy that's black and Asian are nothing alike, have nothing in common, but they're both golden, so that they do have something in common. And I say that to say this. I tell the joke that we are God's final exam. There's nowhere to go after mixed people. You got black, you got white, this and that. But once everybody mixes, there's nowhere to go after that. So we are the future of the earth, mathematically. I don't care how anybody feels.
I want to speak on that really quick.
Your feelings do not matter. When everyone else, when all of the clowns in the human race finish BSing and playing games, 1,000 years from now, everybody in the world is going to be mixed and golden to some degree. And then there's nowhere to go after that. Once you're mixed, that's it. That's it. All right? There's no other levels. It's the apex. That is God's final exam. That will be the finished human being. Us. That's that. So this hate that you get, laugh at it, man. Because mathematics is on your side. All of the feelings, the shots in the comments, the videos from YouTubers and all that, it is clowneries, yo. So I'm glad I'm getting the chance to say this on Jose's show, because it's going to be the most pragmatic, logical thing you're ever going to hear in Golden Sphere history, right here on Jose's show. All right? So this, by default, makes everyone who attacks us a clown by default, because mathematically we are the finished product. I would love to hear anybody in the world say anything about that. I'm going to be quiet now.
Okay, well, the whole point of this platform, and one thing I want to make it clear, is that this is not a biracial channel. It's not a mixed race, a multiracial channel. It's not even a Latino channel. It's a people channel. Okay, and the whole point is this: it is meant to be a free space where everyone can respectfully share their views. And if we're going to disagree, let's us do it with dignity and with class. And as long as we can do that, we're cool.
Yeah, I wanted to speak on what Reese was just saying. Yeah, it's one thing that we can say that from 1,000 years from now, but we honestly just don't know. And then on top of it all, like, that's one thing I would say. I have to agree. I slightly agree with what Blood Moon is saying. I do believe that white people will always trying to find a way to control the rest of society, and by making sure that they have most of the resources.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
By making sure that they have.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
By making sure that they have most of the resources. It's one thing to say that everyone will be golden and everything, but that doesn't mean that they'll have that mentality of being golden. They may adopt the mentality of the dominant society to make sure that they are in control, because everybody's striving for control and power. So
you know what though? I do hope that over time, with all the mixing and stuff, a lot of the mental BS goes away and gets filtered out with the color. The same way the colors are going to disappear, I hope that nonsense does too. And I really do believe that it will by default. Because when everybody pretty much looks the same or similar, there's not going to be there's going to be no reason to judge anybody. Maybe weight, height, and that kind of stuff will still be lingering around, but race, that will go away.
That's one thing I want to talk about with that, because everyone in this world is not going to be mixed. You got a whole continent of black people over in Africa. Like they're like you know countries and countries of black people. Then you got a whole continent of Asian people. Then so like I don't believe everybody is going to be mixed. I do believe that you will have certain people that are mixed, and it depends. It depends if they just view themselves as a mixed group or if they view themselves as superior. Those will be the ones that's always going to um, try to dominate another group or try to establish a hierarchy over another group. That's been part of that's been part of human society for quite a long time. For quite a long time. As far as what you were saying too, what you fellas were saying too about the bullying, I've never been with that bullying shit. Like I don't, because I'm a little younger than you guys. When I was growing up, it wasn't it wasn't no black and Spanish beef where black people was trying to bully Spanish people. Because here in Chicago, everybody knew that Spanish people was with the shits. So it wasn't
Right.
no situation that oh you gonna try to bully this Mexican guy, you're gonna try to bully this Puerto Rican, especially Puerto Ricans. Everybody knew Puerto Ricans got down. Now, what I say in black communities, bullying is a very big thing in general. I can
Yep.
understand you know, like if somebody that already don't really care for black people or have a preconceived notion about black people in their head, if they experience bullying, then that will solidify in their mind a reason to be prejudiced. I get that, but that's something that happens in the black community a lot. Me myself, I was bullied as a kid until I had to learn how to fight back because there was nobody that I could run and go get. I was the oldest, so I had nobody that out of my cousins, everybody. I was one of the oldest, so I had to learn how to get out how I lived. I took ass whoopings, I gave them, been jumped, did jumping, did everything that I possibly can do to establish myself, to establish my respect, because I was taught that I couldn't go hide in the house, and I wasn't going to stay in the house for nobody. So if I had to walk around this block, and if we had to get out every time I walked around this block, that was something that I had to do. So that's something that happens in our community often. I don't definitely condone it, and you did the right thing. If you see anybody being bullied or somebody trying to bully somebody from a group, step up and check them.
How old are you, yo?
I'm 34.
All right, so you're you're a lot younger than me. Now, Spanish people have evolved tremendously, in my opinion. They don't even ask questions no more. So they're not like whatever anybody thought they was soft back in the day. That shit's out the window now. I did a 10-year bid, yo, and I'm gonna tell you something. Don't nobody bother them Spanish dudes in jail. Ain't nobody bothering them. Trust me. Or out here on the streets anymore either. That shit's over with. They cleaned up that bullying stuff a long time ago. But it did used to exist, and it was a myth then. It's a myth now. The whole light skin being soft thing was a myth. I didn't even know I could fight till I was 14 years old. I actually believed that crap. I thought I was a punk until I got in my first fight and damn near half killed somebody. And from that day forward, anybody tried to judge me for being soft because of the way I looked, I engaged them immediately. It was no more self-defense. I don't defend myself. I'm attacking you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not looking at it as you bullying me. I'm looking at it as there's no way physically possible you're going to stop me from getting to your mustache. It's impossible. I flip it around on them. You see what I'm saying? I'll bully the bully.
Yeah,
And if I see someone bullying somebody, I know what I'm capable of because I'm trained. I'm trained with my hands. I'll step in and be like, no, it's not going down like that. Period.
and I got a what Blood Moon and Smoothie was saying, and I believe that was Fulana. Yeah, you're right. Hispanic, not Spanish. Hispanic, not Spanish. Spanish people are from Spain. So yeah, but when I
Uh,
was I'm sorry, Jose, go right ahead.
okay, you know what? Let's change change the topic a little bit. Now here we have five gentlemen here on. Oh, we have we have a Dominican, we have two Puerto Ricans, we have an Afro American, and we have a multi-racial individual. Okay, we're five proud people. Well, four now. Okay, okay, we're five. And the fact of the matter is this: as long as we are all happy with who we are, that's what counts. And if people have an issue with us identifying with who we are, that's their problem. As far as I'm concerned, Don Armando is 100% Dominican. As far as Joaquin, he's 100% Afro American. As far as the Intro Boricua, who is a member of the Golden Spear, he's Boricua.
No.
And then we have
Yeah, Islander on top.
Islander. Have to be Pacific.
Yeah, make that distinction.
and then we have Luis from Philly. Now I tend to tease Ramon because he doesn't like when it gets a little chilly.
No, I can handle the heat down here. It gets to 105 degrees or so, average, but I can handle it. I would rather handle a little heat down here than having to deal with the polar bear temperatures that you like so much. Hell no. Can't do it. Can't do it.
And you know what, guys? I see the guys on the panel as whatever they say they are, but when I'm meeting you for the first time, I don't really care. I wouldn't even ask you. I just see human beings, and that's it.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Well,
Okay,
I think everybody with some type of
Yes, Jose.
No, I just want to acknowledge the Radical Latino. Radical, good evening.
Hey, what's
up,
going
Radical?
on? What's up?
what's
What's
up,
up?
Ed, man? Where your avatar at, man?
Yeah, for a moment I thought it could have been a troll.
No. I restarted my account. I don't know what's going on, but I just wanted to wait. I real quick. I just wanted to weigh in on the conversation. First of all, shout out to the brother on the side. You know, with the headphones on. That your setup looks well professional, but I think I have to agree with them. They said by 2035, the majority of the population they're going to be brown, bro. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, let's keep it 1,000. Colored people are gonna be the majority. You know what I'm saying? So that's I'm gonna have to agree with them on that. Now, with the topic of the show, what's the big deal about being white? I have a theory. I might be wrong, but this is just my theory.
Okay.
I believe that because white supremacy puts whiteness on the pedestal and protects it to such a degree that certain individuals, for example, Latino people, right, who could be, very light, damn near white, will side with whiteness in order to get protection. That's how I see it. Because at the end of the day, even if they like to admit or deny racism, they know who's for the winning team. At the end of the day, they know what whiteness does in social constructs. They know. So when people say, "Well, why everything gotta be about race?" All this other stuff. At the end of the day, there's a reason why you call yourself Spanish, and there's a reason why you call yourself Hispano and all this other stuff, because you know that closely associates to whiteness, and you want to be somewhat protected. That's my theory.
Okay. I just want to acknowledge the presence of, I don't believe this, AOC.
I can't believe it either.
That's a troll.
It can't be her. It can't be.
Yeah, I went up to one of the channels. I don't know if it was radicals. Somebody even tried to troll try to have a fake account with Tali Goya on it. I'm like, please.
Yeah, yo, I want to say something before I go. I remember like back in the day. You know, I lived in the Bronx, right? That whole black and Latino beef that really didn't happen. What really happened was it was beefs between blocks. So if you live in Echo and you lived in East Tremont, you beef with motherfuckers in Echo. You don't know why, but you just did. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I remember my mom, she would send me to the store because milk was like $1 less at a bodega in Echo Place. And I'd be like, Mom, I don't want to go. And when your mom tells you to go, you gotta go, right? I come back an hour later, sweating with fucking, shoe prints all on my white tee. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, I told you why I didn't want to go. You know what I'm saying? But I had to grow up. I had to grow up fighting everybody, black, Latino, even damn near Asian, anybody, because you lived in East Tremont, you beefing with like half the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah,
how I grew up.
facts. I feel you on that though.
But yeah, so that's how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? And then they had dumbass beefs between projects.
Yeah,
2000 had
the
beef with.
project beefs. I could tell you the projects beef was the worst, man. I mean, shoot, you had Monroe. Like from where I'm from Soundview. You sometimes had maybe like what's that projects up on 169, 168, 169.
Wait. I think I know which one you're talking about. The one all the way down to next to Third Ave.
Yeah,
I
like
know which one you're talking. I know which one
just
you're
right
talking
when
about.
you
Yeah, I know.
have the 35 bus.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I
Yeah,
forgot
I
the
Yo,
think
name
how,
it's
of it.
how
called
old is the new
Washington
guy?
Projects.
How old is the new guy, Radical?
Oh, I'm 34.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to understand what you're saying about the project beefs.
Yeah, like in New York, certain projects would be for other projects for no reason. Like I
So it
remember,
wasn't racial, like the
nah,
Spanish.
nah,
Well,
nah. You know what it was? You know
you're
what?
kind of young. What I was trying to explain to y'all is like there was a movement kind of back in the day with the Spanish guys. They used to have gangs and used to beef with each other, but they unified because they were being attacked. You see what I'm saying? And they unified and they came up with things out here called damn, what was Latin Kings, and there was another Spanish group in prison with him.
The Nietas.
Yeah, they and
Yeah, I know
they
about
like
the Yetas. Yeah.
they very, 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 very rarely did they have problems with each other, even though
Bro,
they were two different groups.
I
They
remember.
always stood in unity
I,
against the outsiders because they were abused, like coming up through the 70s and early 80s. Spanish guys were
Yeah.
abused heavily in the hood because
yeah,
the hood was predominantly back. Y'all didn't have the numbers that y'all have now. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling
You
y'all
talk
about a
you
little
talk
fake.
I
all right,
remember.
you talking about Philly or you talking about New York?
Well, New York is more, New York is more a melting pot. People get
Yeah,
along better with different kinds
because
of.
I remember, bro. I remember like some dude that used to live in another project, right, would be in the house party at another project, and because there's a shorty that he used to have a crush on back in second grade is dancing with some dude he got beef with. Oh shit! Now it's on now. You know what I'm saying?
That's silly.
That will be the stupidest things why some projects will beef with each other. You know what I'm saying? But
That's just
but
as stupid as racism.
yeah. That's all it
I'm,
was.
I
But
mean,
but but that's my time, Jose. Thank you very much for having me. Shout out to the chat.
Hey,
We'll catch y'all
yeah,
later.
hey, I
shout
just
out
All
to
right,
wanted,
you,
Radical
I just
Radical.
Thank
wanted
you,
to,
take care, Radical.
Hey,
Thank you for stopping
I just
by.
wanted to speak
good to see
on,
you here.
I just wanted to speak
Yeah,
on what Radical was saying. Unfortunately, what Radical was just saying, like I said, I get that, but let's just keep it real. Most people are going to side with whoever got the resources and the finances. And you
Mm.
even seen this with Europeans that pick, for instance, you have a lot of tribal warfare. It was just a video I just watched earlier. You have a lot of tribal warfare in Africa. And one of these guys who was a white guy in the army down there in South Africa had admitted, because he was there, that it was part of their mission to create tribal beefs and to flare up tribalism amongst the Africans themselves, to so they can take full advantage of that. And
Mm.
of course, when they do things like that, they turn around and they say, "Well, you see why these black people can't build or establish anything because they're violent. Look how they hurt each other and different things like that." But it came down to the fact that it was always elements that these people had put in place in order to get groups to fight each other. If you look at Rwanda in '94, the Tutsis and the Hutus had this issue in Rwanda because of the Belgians who came in and separated them as a group once they colonized the area. And the Tutsis had this certain features, and the Hutus had these certain features, and they gave one group more resources than they gave the other, which created tension, and that tension ended up turning into war as time went on. and that's what you've seen with Europeans and other white people in power. You can always one thing people don't understand. It don't matter what if you mix anything. You can always pay one half of poor people to kill the other half.
Wow.
And that's something that people need to keep in place because people is going to do whatever for their survival. Like, I don't necessarily agree with everything Clarence Thomas is, but look at a person like Clarence Thomas, right? Does Clarence Thomas come off as a person that is beneficial for Black America?
No.
Right, but he's in a position of power, right? So if he's in a position of power, who is he mostly benefiting as he sits in that chair on the Supreme Court?
Himself.
No. Who is he mostly benefiting as he, not only himself, but who's he getting things done for?
Well, not us, but
Not
he has a
us.
battery in his
go.
back.
There
You got to
go.
understand he has a battery in his
go.
back.
So it don't matter if a person is mixed or anything else. If a people, and like I say, the narratives that these people create because they purposely put people in situations where they're fighting for scraps over poverty, like they've done historically here in the United States, and they're able to keep that white supremacist structure going because it's easy for them to tell their children, especially when you're talking about through religious views, well, son, you see, we have this and we have that because it's our destiny to have these things through God. And Black people, they don't have anything over there. And then, and that's the thing, and that's what has historically happened here in the United States, because it's hard for you to tell a young Black kid to believe in a certain religion or believe in this religion when he don't have shit. Like, I mean, I've seen it for myself. I grew up pretty bad, but I didn't grow up. I knew a lot that grew up worse than me. And you guys were just talking about projects. The projects here, where I'm from, were some of the worst projects next
Where's
to
that?
New Orleans, Chicago.
Cabrini Green?
Cabrini Green wasn't even the worst, though. Robert Taylor.
Yeah,
I've heard of Robert Taylor.
Taylor Holmes, right?
Yeah, Robert Taylor, Ida B. Wells, Stateway Gardens, all of those high rises were some of the worst that you've seen. I mean, you had people literally sniping from other buildings.
Yeah,
yeah, I've heard that too.
So like it's hard to tell, and that's where low self-esteem comes into play as well. And that's why you have some people that sell out their people or sell out their group, because if there's no self-esteem that's built off of that, based off of resources, you can tell somebody, oh, you a queen, you a king. You can tell them that all day. But if it's nothing that's going to materialize from that, it's going to be like it ain't going to hold no fucking weight. And that's exactly. Yeah. And not only that, but we've seen it's a lot of people. Like I said earlier, it's a lot of people, and let's just keep it real, that don't want to see Black people with anything. They don't want to see, because it's already in their minds that Black people are supposed to be at the bottom of the totem pole. Even for people that just got here, like they feel that Black people should be underneath them. And I understand everybody got their own group, everybody's fighting for resources, but that's not gonna happen. Nas said it the best, and if I rule the world, excuse my language, but you can have all the chips, be poor or rich, still nobody want a nigga having shit. And that's
let me ask you something, yo. Yeah, today, right? It seems like white people are trying. I'm not talking about the people in power; they're gonna always be what they are. But like the general public, it seems like white folks are trying harder than they ever have in history to be civilized and be loving and stuff. You know what I mean? Because the events of the last 2 years showed me, when I saw them come out in numbers and support us, and the way they would treat me out in public and stuff like that, it just seems like
that's the thing. That's
they're evolving a little bit. Yeah,
no, see, that's the thing right there, bro. We're not talking about all white people.
Of course,
good white people out there. It's always been good white people out there.
What I'm saying is, it seems like there's more than ever before, though. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you something. Back in the '70s, dog, things were pretty bad, dog. They were. Well, you got a lot of dirty looks and.
Well, that's because most of them was still in the inner city in the '70s. Some of them were still in the inner city. You don't get those dirty looks as much until you go to the suburbs.
But these new generation of kids that are on the earth now, there's more mixing, and these kids don't really give a damn anymore.
No, see, here's the thing. When you get things misconstrued at, brother. Kids, of course, they're going to think open-mindedly because they grew up on hip-hop. They grew up on, because I'm getting a little old, who's the new hip-hop artist? Lil Baby. And all of, they grew up on all of these people. Just like when I was growing up, people was growing up on Tupac. But once those kids become adults, they may have love for your group. They may have love for you. But when they see that going towards this system that's already established is going to be to their best benefit, then that's what they're going to go with. I can grow up with some of these people all day. You know what they're going to tell me when it comes to being with their own group, and that group is making them money in real estate and property and investments. Hey, I'm sorry, Rakim. Sorry, Jamal. Sorry, Deshaun. You know I love you, man, but this is just for the white boys. That's what they're going to say. You know, so like, don't get that twisted. Like,
go ahead, Jose.
Excuse me. Okay, now you see, I grew up in the projects. Okay, and you know, and my mother's when my parents first moved into the projects, there was a time when they were able to sleep with the door unlocked. That was like 60 years, like 50 years ago. Nowadays, it's like you don't dare. You have to have like 5 different locks. And the fact of the matter is, half the time when you get into the elevator, you have to be careful what you're stepping, because you might step in something that's not water, if you understand what I'm talking about. Which is why I made a point. As much as I have fond memories of El Barrio, East Harlem, I had to get the heck out of there. So that's why I decided to move out, and I am now living my better life in Parkchester.
Rubbing it in, Don Jose. Rubbing it in.
That's what's up.
No, but that's good. That's good.
One thing I would say, the thing is, because I always hear, it's just like when I hear the older people around my way say stuff like that. Oh man,
Whoa!
Damn.
Damn. You got 2 old men on the panel. You gotta watch your mouth now. God damn it.
No. See here. See, this is where we get things wrong, Jose. You're so sensitive. You're so sensitive.
We ain't sensitive. We old.
The older people around my way. I'm talking about as a kid. I'm talking about me as a kid. When y'all would hear older people with my grandmother, my great uncles, and different things like that, that would tell me how beautiful it was in certain areas. And it's a lot of things, because a lot of people really can't take themselves out of their era. And they don't realize when you're an adult, you're not paying attention to what kids is doing. So you don't see, and the transition can be happening right before your eyes. When a lot of these housing projects was first built, of course they took care of them. They were still new buildings. But as time went on, the politicians, whether it be the aldermen or the CHA, Chicago Housing Authority, or for you guys, the NYCHA, was stealing money, and they was neglecting these buildings. They wasn't keeping these buildings up. And then as time went on, they didn't secure these buildings to keep the residents only coming in and out. So other people was coming in and out of these buildings that didn't live there and doing you know what. And then the drugs. So it's a lot of elements that has transpired since then that have caused, the loss of value within a lot of those project buildings.
That's a common story in a lot of major cities too. Same way.
Look, I understand. Look, let me tell you something. Now, there are some projects that actually halfway decent, but you know what it is? It's because the people there decide to give a darn and do what they can to make it clean and what have you. And I see
I can say that
Maceo's in
too.
the chat.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Maceo.
Shout outs.
Yeah. This is one thing I gotta say, Don Jose. In my life, when I was living in the Bronx, I lived between 2 of the worst projects ever. And I lived in Rosedale Gardens, which they actually say, "Oh no, that's the project." I was like, no, we ain't the projects because we had private security. All the other projects, their security was the cops. And then what I don't understand, going back to Radical, what he was saying that projects was beefing with projects. You had Bronxdale projects and you had Monroe projects sometimes beef with each other, and they were the same game. That's something I couldn't even understand. So
excuse me, I gotta address this comment. Jose got to guard the stones of the Ten Commandments and get Moses' autograph where he lived in the projects?
Oh,
Damn.
damn.
Denise, you know what? I'm gonna pray that you live to be 95 years old, that you can, and you end up in a nursing home, and then you see what it is.
What the fuck? What did I get to go?
Listen, man, I don't tolerate shots at old people. Goddamn, I defend old people. I'm the Robin Hood of old people.
Yeah, and I just want to
Coño.
speak on something because a lot of it's listen. One thing that we have to understand as people, crime. A lot of crime is manufactured. You don't have a whole group of people that just come to the mindset from Los Angeles, Watts, Compton, Detroit, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Philly, New Orleans, Detroit, and just say, "Hey, let's all just be criminals." It doesn't go like that. It's obvious that if you put people, and no matter what group of people it is, because the same can be said about the high crime rates in Brazil. My boy Ramon is from the islands, in Puerto Rico,
Yeah, there are projects there too.
in Jamaica, all over. Anytime where people are desperate, a lot of people are going to commit crimes.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter where you go, if people are in desperate need, because a lot of people compare America to the countries that they come from, and I get it. But when you're talking about this type of country here, this country has always monopolized all of its resources based off of putting people in a pretty messed up position. Like, because here, the prison to pipeline school system, lack of education, poor schools leads to criminals. Criminals lead to more bodies for the prison industrial complex. Because we all know
that's an
the
industry.
13th,
We know that.
yeah,
Yeah.
the 13th
Well,
Amendment was created.
Hello guys, I just came to slide in
Okay,
and say hello to
excuse me,
you guys.
guys.
Hey,
I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to
oh,
acknowledge that James Mapp is in the panel. And
What up, James?
no, I was not a baby. I was not the baby that Moses held when 5,000 years ago. Okay, so chill out.
All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go take care of my daughter. I just came to say hello, guys.
Peace, James.
Peace, James.
God bless.
Well, you know what? But you know what, James? You're always welcome on this platform. Okay, because this is for
Thank you.
everybody. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes.
and I just wanted to clarify something that Blood Moon was just saying. That's easy to say, Blood Moon, but it is poverty here in the United States. It's a lot of poverty here in the United States. It may seem like things are better coming from certain conditions from the Caribbean and different parts of Latin America, but let's just say things are improved a little bit. But in the 70s and the 80s, you go to places like Detroit, places like New Orleans, in the 3rd Ward and the 7th Ward and the 9th Ward, and places like that, Watts in Los Angeles, different things like that. It's poverty, and it's certain people, and people are stuck because once you become a felon as a child, it's very difficult for you because it's about capitalizing. When the 13th Amendment came about, the 13th Amendment was created. Slavery was abolished in the 13th Amendment, and nobody could be a slave unless they was the prisoner of the state. So once that was created, these are the same people that once black people were free, they used every excuse in the book to create a way to put these people in prison to keep them working for the states, to keep them to find a way to make a profit off an ex-slave population that they was previously profited on. And even to this day,
18th letter. I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
So have you ever traveled to a 3rd world country outside of the U.S.?
No.
See, you haven't had hands-on experience with some real poverty then.
No, I haven't. Hold on, let me finish real quick.
Go ahead.
No, I haven't had hands-on experience, but like I said, I cracked open books and I've read about it. I've heard about the poverty in Brazil, the favelas in Brazil. I know about poverty in Colombia and different places like that. I've read about it, but that doesn't take away from the shit that we've experienced here. We've been here from the jump. dealing with.
We have
So
a different kind of poverty over here, though. There's a little bit of laziness in it too. Because there are a lot of people that are in poverty that really don't need to be.
Well,
Exactly.
it's easy to say that unless you're actually over there in it. I'm not equating other people's poverty.
We got homeless motherfuckers that weigh 400 pounds, dog.
They haven't been
with Jordans on. With Jordans on. When I lived in Hawaii.
Hold on.
Yeah, but
so listen, hold on, wait, 1 minute, y'all.
Hold on 1 second. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Because I always show panel etiquette, and even when people interrupt me, I let people speak.
My bad.
Finish, please.
My bad.
The only thing I'm going to sit here and say about that is that I can't equate people's poverty in other countries versus the United States here. But I do know here in the United States, the reason why the United States has been so successful has been capitalized off of my people being in poverty here. I'm not equating people in the Caribbean or people in Latin America or other places where I understand that it's cruel, it's third world poverty and it's different. But what I'm saying is that it's a lot of people here that are in situations where they don't have a choice. Not everybody ain't fucking lazy. That's in a bad situation. That's in a bad situation. And as far as like benefits, anything like that, last time I checked, black men don't get no fucking benefits for nothing in this country. Most of the people that you see that's homeless are homeless men. Now the women, that may be a different story, but the men don't get nothing. We haven't never got nothing. So
hey, you want to know something I have noticed, brother, over here in Philly? The homeless population has changed over the years. Like when I was a younger man, there was a lot of like army vets and doctors that couldn't make it, working people that couldn't make it. Now it's a lot of young kids that just couldn't find their way or whatever, or their parents were, into something. There's a lot of young homeless dudes over here in Philly. Like I'm talking about like 15 to 21.
Yeah. I can speak on that too because it's like here in Philly.
Jose trying to get in.
Oh my bad.
No, I just want to acknowledge Mulata Mermaid in the chat. And one thing I got to give a huge shout out to James Mapp. And the reason why I do, because what he has done is a lot of time he has confronted by himself certain haters of the Golden Spirit, one of them being Rashid.
Oh, boy.
I just want to give a shout out to him.
Well, I have only learned a little bit about who Rashid is. I mean, she doesn't concern us. I mean, whatever it is about, she doesn't concern us. We don't need to be talking about her.
I understand that. I understand. I'm just trying to give him a shout out. But, okay, but go ahead. Please continue.
Don.
Yeah. As I was saying, talking about poverty and everything like that. I remember I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna put this on record and everything like that for all the haters. Whenever I went to Dominican Republic, I never stood in a hotel. I always stood in my mom's crib or my dad's crib. At that time when I was young, it was considered my grandmother's crib and my grandmother's crib. My grandmother's crib in San Pedro, and then my other grandmother's crib in Consuelo. So when I went to Dominican Republic, I saw firsthand, and it humbled me to who I am this day, on how people who are poor, but yet they worked hard and everything like that. And they had pride, they had respect on what they were doing and everything like that. I'm talking about the late 80s and early 90s of the Dominican Republic. Now, I'm not going to go now. What a lot of these Hispanoteps don't want to talk about is how the United States, they send people, they deport people to various parts of Latin America, and you wonder why the crime is so bad, because you have certain people who were deported and they just want to live their life, but then you got certain people who are deported and they still want to do the bad things that they did in the United States. But now, since they know that the laws are weaker in certain Latin American countries, they have free reign, like go over a block or something like that, and they kill innocent, hardworking people that will stand up to them. So, like when it goes to third world countries, I'm just saying Latin America, but then you have You have certain countries which are considered third world, which are going through worse things than we are.
Yeah, listen, poverty is poverty, and I hate it no matter where it is, right? But the reason why I brought up the third world countries is because I've traveled all over the world. Back in the 80s, I did it. And when I was in Thailand and in the Philippines and Australia, and I lived in Hawaii for 2 years in the projects, Cohero Park Terrace, you can Google it right now. I lived on the 12th floor. I was around people doing much, much worse than any of the homeless people in the U.S. or people in. I know poor people that got Jordans, 55-inch TVs, and everything. Homeless people with Timberlands on. You see what I'm saying? That can find food in the trash every day and eat for years and years and years. I saw real poverty when I was over. I saw families without shoes, families with no clothes. They're Hawaiians that they're just so poor. They just wrap sheets around their body and wear flour in their head, and they look beautiful. You would never know that they were living off $1,000 a year or something. You know what I mean? Walking around with flip flops. When you see those, you get off the airport in Hawaii, you see a long line of beautiful women. Might be 100 of them, and they're all hula twerking. There's a big line, and they're putting flowers around your neck, and they all look beautiful. It looks like paradise. Man, these chicks are coming from slums like you wouldn't believe, man. We Americans are so arrogant, it's ridiculous.
No, but see, I get that. I get what you're saying,
Can
brother.
I,
Right.
can I make a comment real quick?
Sorry.
I'm gonna make a comment real quick, and I wasn't gonna join in, but oh my god, I hate when people do that specific argument to use it against American poverty. I despise when people try to exploit that about third world countries. Like Latin America, it's 78% chronically poor. Yes. However, that argument, like Americans are just lazy, that's why they're poor, you can't apply that using third world countries. Third world countries have third world countries problems. First world countries have first world countries problems. Slums exist just as bad, if not worse, in France, the UK, Australia, Denmark, Canada, everywhere.
Facts.
That's not an American
Facts.
issue, but
Facts.
those things happen at a different scale because those are industrialized countries. That does not mean that those people that are protesting about those things or complaining about poverty in their countries are bad or just lazy. It is almost impossible to live just by holding one regular job as a person. And if you evaluate, because a lot of people will say, oh, let's just go to college, you have to look at the nature of the country. The return on investment for you to go to college today, you don't even get that until you're in like your year 17 or 18 working. So can the normal average American afford to lift himself or herself up by her bootstraps? No, they cannot. That is the reality. 80% of Americans are working people that live paycheck to paycheck. That is the reality. We can't just keep using third world countries have it worse. We can't use that argument.
Can I respond?
No, but let me finish.
No, go ahead.
The problem is that we see that they have Jordans and they have welfare and stuff. Yes, because a first world country has the opportunity for poor people to be poor in that way. But when you compare that person to all the billionaires and the millionaires of people that are out here exploiting the poor, that obviously is a major wedge between those two groups of people. And it makes no sense that the richest country in the world cannot afford even Medicare for all.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no
sense. I want to polish up what I said a little bit, so you'll know where I'm coming from.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify something real quick.
No, go ahead.
Because you say you 52, so you remember the era of soul music in the 70s, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
Remember the era. So you remember Marvin Gaye, Inner City Blues. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
You remember what's my man name? Oh man, I can't think of it. You remember Curtis Mayfield, Little Child Running Wild?
Right.
You remember a lot of these songs that explained the poverty that was going on with us.
I could go on for hours about that.
Yeah, so that goes to show you. And then to clarify what Denise was saying, you got people here that's, we'll just say, impoverished on the American level, that's growing up right down the street from wealth. Like people, we were just talking about Cabrini Green. Cabrini Green was nothing but 10 minutes walking from downtown. Mm-hmm. So all of these poor kids that lived in these projects where they barely had any, because we like, listen, I understand poverty in third world countries is different, but you got kids here that didn't have anything to eat. You got kids here that was using ovens to turn on to heat up their whole house. You had kids here that was putting tissue into their sneakers because to cover up the holes in their shoes. And
Right.
then you walk in the
Not only that, Rakim, if you think about it, sorry to cut you off, but this is my thing. If working hard was the only requirement for people to succeed in the country and to be wealthy just as the rest of the elites, then how come Latinos that never went through slavery, Jim Crow segregation, had to face the civil rights movement, how come those Latinos are not wealthy? Because we're hardworking people too. We work a lot of hours. All the Latinos I know, all of them are employed. So how come they're not wealthy? You get my point? They're still poor because the concept of poverty is not just the people that live in the projects. As a matter of fact, there's people that live in the projects that work and have to pay rent.
Mm-hmm.
And people just think, oh, you're just getting welfare and doing nothing. People that get welfare, a lot of them actually hold a job. They just can't pay for food.
You know what, though, sis? I wasn't trying to imply that Americans are lazy. I think the hardest working people in the world are in America. I was just saying that, like, I've experienced different kinds of poverty in travel. And when I look at the United States, of course, our dollar system is designed to keep, the 1% with their foot on the necks of the lower 95. You know what I mean? 99. And it is what it is. The opportunities do not match the number of people here. And there's going to always be people left out, people that are stepped on, people that are trying to make it, that just the door's not going to open for them. That's the American way, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I agree with you 100% there. But wait a minute, hang on a second. What I do see in my everyday life, my fault. What I do see every day in my everyday life is able-bodied humans crying and complaining about poverty, and they're just not moving. And it is not as common in the other places that I were. The other places I were, there was really nothing for those people. Like, I'm talking about miles and miles of pineapple fields with electronic barbed wire fence around them, and hungry people can't even get to it. That kind of thing. It's just a difference. I'm not disrespecting Americans or people in the hood in no way, shape, or form, because I get it. Trust me. I'm with you 100% on everything you said.
All right, but Denise, one thing I gotta say though, and a lot of people haven't, and maybe I might be wrong about this. Y'all could correct me. But the reason why certain people haven't really been, maybe wealthy or anything like that, because we don't teach our kids. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying certain people don't teach their kids on finance and everything like that, like in other cultures. If we teach our kids like finance, on how to work with whatever we got, I'm talking about home economics like they did back in the day, we might even have more successful companies now than since ever.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, though, a lot of people, they just want to look fly or, just get to the top. And then when they're up to the top, they forget to even teach their kids on how to maintain a dynasty. And that's the problem that I'm seeing in America. It doesn't matter if you're black or you're Latino. If you don't have a business that's going from the fifth generation, and you're not teaching your kids on how to maintain that dynasty or that company or that corporation, let's say you make a company, right? And you teach your kids, and you don't teach your kids nothing about the company. Then the next thing you know, God forbid, if you pass away, and then your kid is the owner of your company now. Now, since you didn't teach your kid on how to maintain that company, he was like, oh, I don't know what to do with it. You sell it off to a big corporation. Now they own your name. and not your family. And that's how corporate America is now. Is rarely that you see a lot of dynasties being made now than back like maybe 50 or 100 years ago. I might be wrong about it, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think that's the only, because this is my thing, but I'm gonna let Jose go first because he wanted to say something real quick.
Yeah,
Go
don't,
ahead.
don't Jose, we're listening. Everybody else, please be quiet.
Because you know what, the next time I'm gonna have to stop muting people. And I'm sorry to be this way, but I shouldn't even have to struggle to try to speak on my own platform. Good evening, Denise.
Hi, Jose. How are you?
To be honest, a little pissed off now. Because I shouldn't even have to struggle to speak on my own platform. And this has been going on throughout the evening. I mean, but my opinions don't count.
That's not true.
Okay, well, for what I've seen, it's not the case.
We're listening.
You know, go ahead, because I've been waiting so long to try to have a chance to speak. I lost my train of thought. At this point, I'm thinking about removing myself from the panel completely, because I shouldn't have to struggle to get in a word edge line on my own freaking platform. I provide a space for everyone to have a chance to say. But I find it ironic that the one person that doesn't get a chance to speak is the host. I'm gonna have now. If I have to put in limits, I will do so. But I shouldn't have to be struggled to speak on my own freaking platform. Go ahead.
No, anybody else can go. I'll be quiet.
I think Denise was trying to go.
Yeah, guys, you
Yeah,
can
go ahead,
unmute
Denise.
yourselves. I'm just gonna listen for now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna listen right now too.
So, Jose, you have nothing else to add?
The problem is, I've been waiting so long that I've completely forgotten what.
But in all honesty,
And
I'm gonna say something. Go ahead.
And what I was trying to do when it got kind of sidetracked is the fact that we had to be happy with who we are. Okay, people are going to have their own views, but when everything is said and done, how we perceive this out is the one that it's the view that counts. Go ahead, Denise.
Just as a suggestion, because I mean, since I got here, I did not heard anything from you. But I mean, how can we know that you want to say something other than you saying it? Like, hey, I want to say something, and we will all just be quiet. Because to be honest, we don't. We can't see you. So you have to let us know that you want to say something.
Can I make a suggestion, Jose? When you
Yes,
want
go
to
ahead.
jump in, just be aggressive. Put your foot down. Just like everybody be quiet, and we'll just all shut up on a dime. Anytime you want to.
Yeah,
You
we'll
can
mute
also
ourselves.
mute. You have that control. You can mute us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you mute us, then we'll know you want to say something, or just say something, say hey, and we will just mute ourselves.
Right.
Okay, the
Cause
problem is I don't know how to mute.
No,
oh man.
we can mute ourselves if you can do it. Just say hey, and we will mute ourselves.
Yeah. I wish we could see you, because then you could like hold your hand up and
Or put it in the private chat. Also, we could also
Right.
Yeah, but there was also the delay thing that we were
There you go.
mentioning earlier, because there seems that tonight there is a bit of a delay, and it seems like we're cutting you off where we don't mean to cut you off, but we're saying something and you say something, we don't hear it right away, and by the time we hear it, then we're trying to say something, and it sounds like we're cutting you off, but that's not the intention. There might be a delay somewhere.
Yeah. The only thing that's missing now that you're on camera is that you hold the chancla up.
No. No, I get flashbacks.
Yeah,
Ooh.
just hold the chancla up, and we know shut up or it's coming your way.
But you know what, Denise? I gotta have a little talk with you. This thing about I'm that old. I mean, like old, like Moses.
But the way you
Really?
describe the projects, look, I am 34 years old. The way you describe the projects doesn't sound, and I come from an island where things are like a little bit not as bad as here. I mean, they're still bad, but not as bad.
Yeah.
So even in Puerto Rico, that's not the culture of a caserío. So if you grew up in projects that were harmonious and were like a lovely gated community where people love each other, that sounds like the Hebrews, Moses, or fucking Noah and the Ark, something like that.
Okay. I was talking about in days before I was born. Back in the early 60s.
Just answer
Okay.
something for me. Did you actually did Moses part the Atlantic Sea for you guys to come out here?
No. And let me
What do you have to think
Denise,
about
one
it,
day you're going to
Jose?
get.
He's trying to remember it.
Denise.
Yeah.
Denise.
What do you have to think so much about
One day, you're going to be my age. Okay? Just remember that.
Yeah.
You better hope and pray you look. And you better hope and pray that you look good. Look, I look doggone handsome for a guy that's almost 60.
Oh, come on, Jose. Yeah, imagine being there with the Ten Commandments and, get to live through history like that.
This is gonna be roast Jose hour.
I do this to it all the time. He's gonna get mad eventually and just tell me he's gonna just throw the chancla at me.
Oh, man. Ay. Carajo.
You know what?
Te van a dar pan.
I'm gonna pray. Denise, I'm gonna pray that you live to be 100 years old. Wow. And that you end up spending your days in a nursing home.
Oh, Lord.
And you're gonna be doing Latin explaining from the nursing home at 100.
Nah. I'm gonna at 75, I told you, I'm taking ecstasy, crack, whatever does the trick.
Damn!
Past 75. No more.
You know what? No. You know what? I've been hearing this crap for over for about a year now. What's going to happen is at 95, Denise is going to become a born again Christian. She's going to do Latin explaining, and then she's going to be talking about hermanitas, trata portar bien, porque eso se declara papi por Dios.
You see, to all the people that say that I troll him with that his playmates were the dinosaurs, this is why. This is the reason why I troll Jose. Okay,
It's out of love.
Jose shared when the school lunch break for kids, in Jose's school there were dinosaurs. Okay.
Oh, they were the pets.
Growing up. Oh yes.
They didn't ride horses. They ride raptors or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Jose had a velociraptor that he took to the projects with him.
Okay.
I hate Denise. I love you, but I hate to burst your bubble. I mean, I was born during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
New York did not look the same when you were growing up. And that is real. I think there were less rats. There were not even rats over there when you were growing up. Imagine how much New York has changed.
Okay, first of all, let's make it perfectly clear. In Parkchester, I have not seen one mouse in almost 5 years. Okay. Yes, you see a couple of little mice.
Really?
Yeah, he always looks up. He's always looking at the clouds like this. Oh, it's a beautiful day.
He probably has a cat. He has a cat.
Yeah, probably. New York.
The rat are the size of possums.
Look, we literally saw, like, do you guys remember those floodings in New York? We saw rats dancing in the water. They are immune to everything. I'm pretty sure if there's like a nuclear war, you have to go where the rats go. You'll be safe in New York. And those are survivors.
They're gonna be safer than the cockroaches. Not even the cockroaches can survive.
Yep.
No. What's gonna happen is the following. Denise is gonna move to Parkchester. She's gonna allow her kids to play in the snow. She's going to go to Times Square New Year's Eve and watch the ball drop, and then she's going to join the Polar Bear Club.
No, what's going to happen is that Jose is going to put in his retirement in a couple of years. He's going to get Hawaiian guayaberas and shirts and shorts, and he's going to go with chanclas to Puerto Rico and his fedora hat and be sipping piña coladas every day and drinking out of coconuts and everything.
That doesn't sound too bad, Jose. What's the problem with that?
I can go do that.
That sounds great.
I want to do that now.
Yep. And then he's gonna book a flight to Greece, and he's gonna book another one so he can ride camels in Egypt. You know, that's what Jose is going to do in a couple of years.
Let's do it next summer, Jose.
Actually, believe it or not, if I want to, I can retire now.
Wow.
No.
You see, imagine having the fortune of being able to retire now.
Okay.
I envy you.
Now the reason why I don't. Okay, the reason why I don't retire is, first of all, I'm one of those crazy people that actually likes this job.
Okay.
Number two, I'm in good health. Wow. Even though Denise was thinking I had one foot in the grave, but I'm in good health.
No, I didn't say that you have a foot in the grave. I just said it's time to call it quits and just enjoy life.
Call what quits?
Job, working. Why you want to work past your retirement age? Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that.
Millions of people doing it.
Okay.
Woo. But that goes to show what we were talking about. All people should not have to do that, though.
Yeah.
But only in this country it's happening. What's happening to this country is bad.
First of all, I'm middle aged. I'm old.
No. I'm middle aged. You're over a century and then a decade old. Over half a century. I'm sorry, half a century.
That's not old.
That's technically, yeah.
Thank you.
But you said half. Half means middle.
No, but we don't live up to 100. That's why he's not middle aged.
I am.
No, what age are you?
I'm 52 years old, but I could have told you I was 35 and wouldn't have been nothing you could have did about it.
Then you're half a century old as well. We are middle aged because the life expectancy is around 81, 78 to 81, 85, 88 at the most. Man. So 50 and 60 is not half of that.
I'm going to beat that.
We are middle. You can beat that. That's for sure. That's just an average. But that's not middle age.
Okay, excuse me. According to Google, The period between the early adulthood and old age is usually considered the ages from 45 to 65. Therefore, I'm middle age.
No, that's not true. Look, middle age means that you're right in the middle of your life expectancy. I am in the middle. You're not.
No, you're not. You're not in the middle. You're not
You're
5 years
not in the
old.
middle. You're not gonna last 120 years, honey.
I am.
You don't know that.
It ain't gonna happen. The world is more toxic. And again, who cares? We're not trying to live forever. We're just trying to live now.
I'm
And
about to
that's
show
what
you what a 50-year-old man body look like.
it
Give me a
doesn't
minute.
matter. It doesn't matter because regardless of, because it's the same thing that we hear even on our sector. Oh, like but I'm holding up for my age. Yeah, for your age. Jayla looks amazing at 50. She looks bomb at 53, but she is half a century and 3 years old. It still doesn't change that she's old. Like, I don't get what's the issue.
Reese, pay no mind. We're middle age.
I know.
And I like what Blondon said when she said there's a lot of old people who look better than young people. Jayla looks better than me. And she's 53 years old. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's not about how you look. You're still old, though. You're still old.
I will never be called old.
Oh, come on. That is the problem with boomers and Gen Xers. Age gracefully.
We're
That's
trying.
it.
We're trying.
Age gracefully.
Wait, Denise, we're the way to the future.
It can be, but look, I'd say it like this: I can't wait to be old. It's like I have an excuse to curse younger people out, and I can use my old people card.
Old person privilege to be mean.
You get a discount at the theater. You get cheaper food. Like, come on, who doesn't want to age? I don't get that. Come
I don't know about
on.
that.
Hey, y'all want to hear a funny story real quick? I look really young, right? So I'm on the bus and I'm sitting in the front of the bus, and some women get on, and they look like they're in their 40s and stuff, but they don't, they're younger than me, but they don't know that, and they're giving me eyes and mean looks and stuff because I won't get up, and then they start talking and sucking their teeth. Yeah, these niggas nowadays ain't got no respect. They won't even let a woman sit down. So I pulled out my ID card. I said, I beg your pardon, ma'am. I am an elder. I have a right to these seats. The sign says it right there.
You see? That's the best. You get to just got in line.
Oh,
Imagine
shit.
going to the DMV and limp a little bit and people will feel sorry for you. That's privilege, man. That's privilege.
Oh, man.
That's literally privilege.
Denise, that's not necessarily the case because I remember when I was recovering from my total knee replacement on my right knee, I had a cane, and there was this transgender whatever.
Mm-hmm.
See me limping to get to a seat. A lady was gracious enough to allow me to offer me her seat. You know what this individual did?
What?
Threw the shoe on the seat and then took the seat, knowing that I'm trying to sit down.
Oh no, you're too nice. You have to be a mean old man. That's why I told you to wear that anti-feminist T-shirt and curse people out. At that age, what are you saving your attitude for? At that age, like, who's gonna call you out? Like, come on, like nobody can call you out.
You can get away with a lot when you're old.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the nice old man, not the cranky old.
No, that's the burden of youth. You see, that's why you probably are not enjoying your full aging experience. You can't do that. You have to use your privilege, and your privilege says you get to curse people out, you get to cut in line, you get to fake limp, and we believe you. You pay less for food, less for the theater, less for Disneyland.
That's for the bus.
Yeah, less for everything. Come on, you already lived. You earned that already. So you said be mean, be rude.
Think about all the suffering you've been through all over the years. You had the right to tell everybody on the panel and just cut in and say, shut the fuck up. Nobody can get mad at you.
Yeah, nobody can do nothing. Look at what happened with Psycho Ryan.
Oh, man.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. When was the last time you ever heard me curse?
Oh.
That was
I never heard
that
you
one
curse.
time. That one time only.
Yeah, Psycho Ryan. I'm gonna get off the fucking platform.
Oh,
Damn,
that became
I never heard you curse
that was
at
a
all.
moment. We all heard that one.
Oh
I
my
didn't hear that.
That was
Yeah,
you
yeah,
missed
that was
out.
on Golden's live stream on her
Oh
new
wow. Well,
channel.
I guess I have to watch it then, because
Yeah,
cause me,
it's a live stream. It's a live stream that is about 2 hours long. At some point, there is gonna be a bit of an argument, and you're gonna hear Jose getting mad.
He said a cuss word?
Yes.
Several.
Yes.
I'm going to go there and put timestamps. So
I'm going to sample that cuss word. I got a beat machine right here. I'm going to sample that shit and make a beat with it.
That's exactly
Oh,
my intro.
Oh, you're a
is
beat
going to
maker.
have
Do
that.
it. Do it. Well,
Yeah.
we wanna
What
hear it.
stream is it in?
It's on
Okay,
Golden,
go to Golden Goddess channel. Look for the live stream that is about 2 hours long.
The last one?
And, let me see.
I was listening to the last one. I ain't hear no cuss word.
Look at Briella Sanfonte said, I literally can't wait till I get older. For that reason, yeah, definitely. And yes, I'm gonna add Smoothie. I'm gonna add the timestamps. I swear.
Yeah. Put the timestamp in the comment.
Trust me, I'm gonna take.
So they can just click on them. People can just click on them and get there.
I'm going to make a Spanish beat, a salsa beat with Jose cussing in it over and over and over again.
Oh, that.
It's like, I'm gonna get off the fucking platform.
Coño.
You know
You
what
were
was
missing
missing?
that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
missed that part.
This one was missing. No, and when he says, when he wanted to change the topic that they finally did, he was like, "Thank you."
Gotta love Jose, man.
That's hilarious.
Jose joined the dark side.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's what is it?
Oh my
He's not Bonifacio no
gracious.
more. Now you don't have your own personal cloud. You don't get to go talk to Jesus Christ in person no more. Now you're like the rest of us. No, I'm joking.
Denise, I have a question.
Yeah, go
Do
ahead.
you still love me?
Oh, of course. Of course. I just want to see you exercise your old privilege.
Old man privilege.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to exercise my old privilege, and I need a nap, y'all. I didn't even know Jose had a channel, but I'm glad I found out. I'm going to start coming back and hanging out with you, man.
Hey, sure thing. I'm sure it's gonna be all right.
Well,
Looking forward to that beat.
Yeah, me too.
What'd you say, Jose?
Oh, look at what Briella said. That guy was antagonizing Jose. It's true. Psycho Reyes, he gets the words out of people.
Jose got a delay. I swear to God, he just said something.
Yeah, I heard his voice.
You heard him, right?
You were saying?
Yeah.
You were
Hey,
saying?
you're trying to say
Yeah, I
something?
heard something. I heard a little something.
He's got a delay. I'm telling you, man.
matter of fact, well, I might start a stream on Friday. Well, depending on what time I get off of work, so I could actually do this YouTube sphere or whatever the heck may be.
What's the channel?
It's Don Amanda Robles.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can find you. I hope that there aren't like 30 Don Armando Robles on YouTube, so I can.
No, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
If you see If you see a concert on my page, I recorded it.
All right.
You do music?
I mean, I rap, but I'm just trying to be on the producing side. So right now, I'm just trying to open up my studio.
That's what I'm doing. I'm practicing making music and beats and stuff. I did all the intros and all my video, all the music on my intros and all that kind of stuff.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
But how long
getting
you been in
better.
music for?
I just got all this shit like 6 months ago. So
one question: do you guys what is you guys' take on the twerking senator?
Oh God.
That's an embarrassing to the constituents, to say that.
I'm not mad at her that she twerks, but I'm mad at her that she recorded it so that the world could see it.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking. To be honest, I'm ignorant.
You
I don't know. Because
yeah,
all I
the
do
senator
is I
from
work.
Rhode Island, I think it is.
Go to my Instagram and just watch it. It's like 2 seconds. I'm not even joking. It's like 2 seconds.
And the thing is, for a slightly chubby gal, she doesn't look bad. She didn't look bad doing it. But
It's not the problem is not that. I just
the
think
position that she's in, I get it. She is
not only
in a
that.
position.
It's like she could get in any position. Tomorrow she could go to a strip club and just literally work for one night. The issue is like why you're recording this when you know you represent constituents to the world. Like why do we have to record
the thirst for attention? That's where that comes from.
The thing is, she's a sitting senator. She's not a former senator. She's active.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you're representing thousands of people, and then on top of that, like I thought that we heard the worst from her, which was that she wanted to teach children pleasure-based sexual education, but apparently that wasn't the worst.
Damn.
Yeah,
it was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was so bad. I'm like, because a lot of people are like, oh, can people dance? No, you can do anything, boo. You can have sex in public as a senator if you want to. Just don't record it and post it on social media. We don't want to see our senators crotch on social media.
Yeah.
We literally, like, imagine if Ron DeSantis were to show us and flashes his crotch. You want to see that?
Maybe women do, but not I.
Not really.
No, I wouldn't want to see that. That would be too disgusting.
Do you want to see Greg Abbott's crotch while he's twerking with his booty out? I don't want to see that.
Well, Greg Abbott is in a wheelchair to begin with, so I don't know how he's gonna do that. I mean, not making fun of it, but I see what you're saying.
Imagine the concept of Bernie Sanders in that position.
I mean, Bernie Sanders is older than dirt, so he shouldn't be trying to do that.
But just imagine if they were to do these things. Or
oh my goodness, you'll have a heart attack.
Or Mayor Garcetti. Do we want to? Because that's the thing. I'm like, if it's disgusting and we will call them the P word that you guys know, then it's the same for her. Like that was a little bit on the degenerate side. I think she shouldn't do that publicly. I'm like, there's no reason why. There's no excuse as to why you have to post it and record it. Even record it, fine. Record it for yourself. Send it to your girlfriends and whatever the hell. Why you have to post it? I would have supported her if it was that she was on vacation. She did it and someone leaked it. Yeah. That would have been a different thing because then that's her private moments and she's entitled to do whatever she wants. But she purposely went on her public page and posted that disgusting scene.
Yeah, Fulana, look up the twerking senator from Rhode Island, I think it is.
Oh yeah. I saw the on vid. To me, personally, I didn't even know that she was a senator, but I just thought she was just a regular woman dancing.
No, it wasn't a regular woman dancing. Yeah. It's an actual politician. So
right, but I'm just saying, like, if I didn't know, aside from her being a politician and everything like that, I just think like it's just a regular twerk video.
Yeah.
She has amazing balance. I was impressed.
Yes.
Yeah. She practiced. she practiced that shit on.
Yeah, that wasn't the first time.
Exactly.
She even managed to put the firehouse in between her perfect legs. But my thing is, this is disgusting behavior to be purposely put out by a senator outside. Because if we have the audacity to ask and demand people to quit over sexual pictures or touching their crotch in public or nothing like that, this is a sexual dance. I don't care what people say, like, oh, it's a cultural dance. No, fuck that shit. Because reggaeton is a cultural dance. I don't happen to do that with people at the office.
No,
You get my
the
point?
the thing is that I believe she's rainbow, so she's hiding behind that so that people don't judge her. Like she's trying to justify it by kind of like some type of expression because she's rainbow, so she better not be criticized. You know how it is. People hide behind
Yeah,
certain identities so to avoid
yeah,
accountability.
that mafia will come at you. I can
Yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm
Well,
like, we know. I think one thing that I hate about our generation is that we get to know way too much, far beyond what we would like to know about people today. Like, I don't want to know who you like to have sex with.
Whoa.
I don't want to know your feelings about your body and if you have body dysmorphia or whatever. I don't want to know that information. How the information is going to help me live my life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why we have to focus so much on that, though.
okay.
Yeah, Don Jose.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually look at
Okay,
it,
well, this is okay. This has been a very fascinating topic, and believe it or not, this stream actually got 140 views, which is
Good.
like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that mean I have to get angry? I mean, does that mean I have to get angry to get views? My goodness!
Yes.
I told you, all
Yes.
privilege, all
Yes.
privilege is tough. I told you.
You gotta start talking smack.
You have to talk about race every time, so you can get a lot of. you have to make it about race, and you'll see.
If you really want some views, we gotta start arguing and calling each other names and talking about each other's mothers and stuff.
Well, not get too carried away with that, but you have to make it. We have to make it a little bit spicy, apparently.
well, I could just say that
Well,
I
Father,
just call myself OG shaved or something like that. Something stupid. I think that will get laughs. I don't know.
Or we can call the senator. She'll bring.
would you?
Yes.
Well, I can't believe that there's still 17 people watching this stream to listen to an old fart argument. It's like, oh my goodness. Hey, if you're gonna hear me argue that much, at least you can do is give me a couple more likes and give me a couple more subs for crying out loud. I mean, it's not every day you see me this way.
Well, you are gonna have to make this like
No,
every
but
Wednesday
seriously.
thing. Wednesdays is when Jose's wild. It's the middle of the week. He's annoyed by all the people and the ghetto mamas he has to deal with. So tune in every Wednesday because Jose is having wild moments. Okay.
Wow, Wednesday.
Wild.
Well,
Wednesday.
that could be a good title. That sounds good. Wild Wednesdays
Yeah,
with
but
Don Jose.
you know what?
Wild Sense with Jose Negron.
Oh my goodness! Would you believe this has been going on for almost 3 hours?
Yeah.
I ain't late for work.
Yeah, well, I have to get off because I see y'all guys later because I have to go to work. So it was nice talking to all y'all.
Okay,
I'm gonna holler at you on your channel, homie.
All right, bro. One.
Yeah, I'm subscribing
Remember-
soon. I'm doing that.
Yeah, remember, Don Armando, I'm gonna be in Philly. I'm gonna be in Philly Saturday.
I know. So I'll give you my phone number on DM. So therefore we can link
Okay,
up.
cool.
Y'all gotta drop y'all emails like on
Definitely.
one of my videos in the chat in the comment section or something.
Oh yeah.
I think my email's on my channel. I don't know.
Got you.
because I got a gift for both of y'all.
Okay.
I
All
dropped
right,
mine
homie.
now.
Oh,
All right, homie.
all right. All right. Well, take care, Dom. I'm gonna be safe.
I gotta get out of here too, Jose. Remember, I'm
Just
old.
like
I gotta get
that,
a nap.
and just like that, 150 years old are going to get together in a meeting.
Do this look like the arm of an old man? You see them cuts?
150 years.
Did that look 50 years old to you? Where the 30-year-old man
First of all,
cut up like that?
look, I am 59 years young.
Right.
Yeah, you have to say it that way. 59, young, not old.
Well,
Yes.
okay.
I still play basketball with high school kids
Okay,
every
so
day.
what we're gonna do? So what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do is we're gonna start to take closing statements. So I'm going to start with Reese from Philly. Reese, it's been a pleasure having you on the platform. Hopefully, this won't be the only time. So please share your final words briefly, because I got to go to sleep.
Well, I just wanted to
Yeah,
say I love everybody, even the people that left, even the haters in the fucking chat talking crap. Jose, I didn't know you had a channel, brother, but I'll be back whenever I catch you firing up. I'll come join in, help support the channel, give you some good content. And everybody else, I love y'all, man. I'll check y'all channels out too. And Denise, you a certified baddie, man. I wasn't trying to go against you, but I love you too. So I'm out of here, y'all.
Take care. Take care.
all right. Have a good one, my dude.
Take care. Okay. So now we're going to hear from the latest member of the Golden Spear, who wants to be buried in snow, who wants to go to Times Square in shorts to watch the ball drop, who will go to Coney on New Year's Day to get into the water and swim. The introvert Boricua.
Hey, Don Jose. Only bury me in snow if the other alternative to that is being with a tranny. Bury me in snow then. Like for real. But aside from that, no call for me. No ice. No. The flurries, things like that. No. That will kill me. That will kill me. Hypothermia, bronchitis. I don't want to die of none of that. So I just wanted to say, Don Jose, I appreciate you you letting me be on your panel. It was fun. It was interesting. And Don Jose, there has to be something done about the delay, because there was a delay. That's what got you all mad, thinking that we were interrupting you. That's not, we weren't interrupting. It's just that the timing
He was
because of the delay.
interrupting. He was interrupting, Jose. He was. Lo tengo de buena tinta. He was interrupting. No, I'm joking.
No, but still, as always, I'm looking forward to the next one. Thanks for having me. Lo mismo, oírte de nuevo, Denis. To the people in the chat, it's good to see you. Looking forward to the next live. Maybe eventually I can have some of you guys on a live stream of mine. I'm planning and thinking about what I'm going to be doing next. So thanks for having me, Don Jose. I'm going to be stepping out because I do have to sleep too. So all of you guys, take care. Have a good one.
Take care, Ramon.
Oh,
bye.
Okay,
Bye.
take care, Ramon. So now we're going to hear from the one that actually claimed that I've been around since the time of Moses, which is not true. The fact, saying disparaging remarks on people of my generation, even though I'm her cyber father, everything like that. I mean, and even though you say all that crappy stuff, I still love you, Denise Gonzalez.
Very funny. No, but seriously, I mean, I don't have a lot to say. But I would say this. I don't think our collective is not obsessed with calling themselves white. I just don't think it's everyone though.
No,
Um,
I agree.
I just think that there are large groups on both sides of the scales. But I will say this, and trust me, me and Rad are planning something where we will explain this further. But if you call yourself Hispanic and you think that it refers to Spain and whiteness, you need to go back to school. That's all I'm gonna say today. With that being said, thank you very much to everybody. It was really fun to block Team Osuna 17 times. It was nice to see you wilding out. Um, you know, and yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the next stream. And to the people that are watching that just came in or whatever, don't forget to hit the like button. So I'm gonna step out too, Jose. Take care. Have fun in Philly. Don't eat too many Philly cheesesteaks.
No,
Uh,
no. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live on Friday, but it's just going to be basically giving you my observations. I will be going live Sunday, prime time, at 5 o'clock your time, and the topic is going to be the biracial and multiracial people, because there is a lot of misunderstandings as it pertains to those individuals. So,
I
the
tend
whole
to
purpose,
I tend to stay away from that circle specifically. I think they should address their issues. But I like what Morena said when she said Lower Latino was not always in existence to describe Hispanics in the Western Hemisphere. No, those words, Latino and Hispanic, they are just made up shit. You decide if you want to wear them, but you need to. I think people need to know what they mean, though. You know,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like
Uh,
1,000% sure Morena knows, but not everyone knows. So
now,
that's all I'm gonna say for now.
my question,
Yeah, go ahead.
what do you think? What do you think is appropriate term for us? Because we're not Hispanic, we may not be Latino. So, what would be something that would be the best way to describe us?
No, I think look, I don't like to partake on that. Like I let people call themselves Hispanos or Latinos because I think that's something very personal. My thing is that if you're gonna use a term, you need to know what it means though. You
I
know?
agree.
So if because it's so cringe every time we see this pro whites I'm European type of clownish people use the term without knowing what it means. But no, I don't have a problem with people using the term Hispanic um, because they probably know what they're talking about. But what I'm saying is like just know what everything means instead before you call yourself something. You wouldn't call yourself transgender. You know, so the same way you did your homework, do the homework with everything else. Otherwise, don't use a term. But I'm not gonna continue down this thing. I'm gonna X out. And like I said, it was a pleasure. It was so nice. It was really funny. Looking forward to the next one and um wilding out Wednesdays for Jose. So take care, Jose.
Okay, you too. But you know what? If you're gonna have a wilding out Wednesday, I need people so I can wild out with, because I cannot be wilding out by myself.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll piss you off. Take
Well, in
care.
any case, you know I love you anyway.
Same here, same here. Un abrazo. Bye bye.
Okay, bye. Okay. So now I'm gonna give my final thoughts. Um, with all the technical difficulties that I did experience, it was a very interesting topic. And the fact of the matter is, when everything is said and done, we have to each accept ourselves as who we are, and we cannot let other people dictate what they how they're going to describe us. So that being said, I just want to let everybody know that you're more than free to enter your comments after the stream. Just keep it respectful, and then we'll be fine. So Friday, I'm going to be on at 8 o'clock, and it's just going to be a short stream regarding my observations of the week. And then Sunday, at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, we're going to have a discussion regarding who are biracial and multiracial people. And that being said, I thank everybody who got in the chat. In fact, the matter is there were too many people to name, and I don't want to overlook anybody. I just want to thank everyone who entered their comments in the chat. I want to thank everyone who appeared on the panel and who bear with me even with my slight technical difficulties. So that being said, I'm going to close the same way that I always close. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future. And we must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we'll be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. Thank you, Mulan. I am going to get some sleep. To be perfectly honest, I think this has been the longest I've ever done this. I don't usually do 3-hour streams, but you know what? When you have a good time, you don't want it to end. So that being said, I'm just going to say thank you very much for all the people who will either catch it live, caught it live, or catch it on the play. That being said, this has been a somewhat extended version of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I thank you very much. Take care and peace out.
Be strong.